Bam, welcome back to Talkin Options, where I teach you how to trade options, giving you some better options than the options that you had before. We have a very, very, very special guest in the building today, and without further ado, I'm not going to leave him waiting. Now, this is not a forex trader. This is actually a different channel. They actually have one of the biggest podcasts in the black community, a lot of black viewers, and so I want to talk to them specifically though because they have someone on their channel who is supposed to be the master investor. He teaches you stocks, he teaches you futures, he teaches you options. But you know why we're here, because I want to see, is he pressing the button? See, I'm gonna give you the real information to bring your sensation to a higher vibration, if you know what I'm saying. That's the information that we are providing to you, is how to actually see whether or not these people are really pressing a button or if they're really leading you down the wrong path. Now, when we talk about earn your leisure, because that is our special guest in the building today, you can see here that this is their main page. And they actually have a page here called EYL University because they sell courses. They have other people that, they have as professors that also sells courses on this site as well. Now I know exactly what you guys are saying. Wait a minute, Samantha, why are you talking about them when they're here trying to help the community? Help the community? Oh, by the time I go through this video, y'all gonna see someone who is actually helping the community from a health perspective, from a wealth perspective, from a stealth perspective. These people are showing different ways for you to be a degenerate, and you just don't know it. You think you earn in your leisure, and I'm gonna show you that you're not actually earning your leisure, you're slaving towards your leisure. So again, this video is gonna talk about options trading and futures trading because they do have someone on there that speaks that cloth talk, but at the same time, we're also gonna dibble and dabble into who they are and why they have the podcast that they do. Now, if you're already saying, oh my gosh, she is being so negative, listen. A battery is both what? Positive and negative. A lot of y'all being negative, or positive rather, and y'all being positive and stupid. How about being negative and having some sense? Okay, let's get right on into it. So again, this is EYL University. You can see here that these are the courses that they have, taught by many different people. We're dealing with first though, this investment side. And so you can see that when we're talking about the investment side, we do have, whoa. That's what I'm talking about. Buy for $1,000 right off the rip. Now, by the time we get through all these videos, y'all gonna really understand why I'm making this video and why we're really calling them out to see if they're pressing the button. Because already you can see that they got some high prices, $1,000. And what's included in this $1,000 course? Look at this, people. Really look at this. Getting started in the stock market. Stock questions and answers with Ian Dunlap. An hour 30 and 2 other videos, so total we got about 4 hours for $1,000. $1,000, people. Okay, by the time I take you through this video, you're gonna see exactly what I'm saying. Not only are they not giving you the best information, but they're giving you information way overpriced, and you already know who the king of it is. This one right here, or maybe you don't know, but I'm gonna show you who the king of it is. Let's take it back over here to his page where you can see that they have many different videos, and this is me saying it in case you're not already familiar with them. As you can see, we usually go from the oldest video down to the newest, but as I said, they have a lot of different people that they feature on here. So what I'm gonna first do is we're gonna talk about this guy right here, and you can see him right here. He's called the Master Investor, and he has several different videos that talks about the stock market. Okay, so let's get on into it.
So this is no different than what the LA Lakers have done when they acquired LeBron and AD in this era, Kobe and Shaq back in the previous era. So the biggest companies are going to buy the best talent. So when you guys are often looking for the best thing, the new best thing is probably going to.
Let's go back a bit.
Type yes on YouTube and in Zoom. If there was a house on sale for $400,000, if you would buy for $100,000.
All right, here we go.
At the end of this month.
Here we go.
This is what.
So first, let me give you some background information on Ian Dunlap that I was able to find on this page. So you can see it right here that Ian Dunlap, do they have his page in here? Okay, this is his page. He's the Red Panda. This guy's with the Red Panda. And you can see that the Red Panda don't play no games when we talking about the prices. Red Panda Academy. He's going to teach you stocks. He's going to teach you options. Now, I'm going to go through these prices because I know y'all already seeing it and like, God damn, $5,000, $25,000, $40,000. With this type of money, y'all, I could take you to the moon. And I'm really going to take y'all to the moon because I'm going to show you how to trade the moon cycles. But the question is, what is he giving y'all for $40,000, $25,000, $5,000? Are you serious? Let's get back over here because I'm going to go through some of the videos with Mr. Ian Dunlap as a master investor. And like I said, you're not going to find much information on like his background as far as if it was anything educational, but that doesn't even matter. I want to see whether or not he's pressing the button. I don't really care about whether you came from the stock, whether you were trading on Wall Street or if you just learned this 5 years ago. The question is, are you pressing the button? Can you show us proof of you pressing the button? So you can see here that he's talking about the Apple split, right? All right, this was on August 3rd. He's talking about the Apple split. Let's listen to what he has to say.
I think this gives the best case scenario for why you should invest every month. For our first-time listeners, I appreciate you. I want you to invest.
Did y'all hear that? He said, I want you to invest in Apple every single month.
Long term first before you do anything else. And
y'all listen to this.
I do a good job of illustrating why. So this, once again, is why you should buy every single month.
Every single month.
The company is going to split, but we do know that Apple is the most amazing tech company on the planet. Type yes in chat and Zoom and YouTube if you have an iPhone.
People kill me with this, and the reason why is you guys, a lot of traders swear that they know what's about to happen with these companies. Y'all don't know what's about to happen with Apple, nor do you actually know what's going to happen with Tesla or any of these companies in the next 5 to 10 years. What you're seeing is people are getting this information from news sources, from, you know, what they think that they've understood from the earnings statements, and they're trying to take it and they regurgitate it and they try to make sense of it. What do you mean Apple is the best company? First of all, when you're talking about Apple, right, one of the main things that they say is that, oh, if you had invested in Apple 5-10 years ago, you would have made this amount. It sounds good, and technically it may be true, but just because that happened then doesn't mean it's going to happen now. That's not a cycle. I talk about seasonal cycles and how to actually trade based on cycles that you can see happening on an every year basis, on a fiscal year, or even on a smaller cycle. But the question is, how is he getting this information? Because he's telling you to buy Apple every single month. Keep listening.
So I'm not going to give them our price. But the answer is both. If you can afford to do both, you need to buy both. So you need to get some before the 31st, and after that price drops, buy more shares, because the more shares that you have in your possession, the quicker you will get to retirement.
Again, it sounds good, but did he show you proof that he has those shares? Did he show you proof that he pressed the button? Because it sounds good, and if you actually got into the trade right now, you know that you're probably not looking that good, because look at this right here. You guys can see this. This is Apple on ThinkorSwim. Take a look at where Apple was when they told you to buy, and where it is right now. Now, mind you, this was what? This was on the 31st of August. 31st of August, they told you to put your money in and keep buying, and take a look at this, because you would have been frying, and so would they, because I get one thing, I know they didn't press the button, and if they did, guess what? They are down right now. See, what you're seeing right here is ThinkorSwim, and as I said, these are the magnetic lines in which you can use to actually improve you understanding the highs and the lows on what's happening in the market. So this is Apple right here, and again, this is a +2, +3, +1. If you want more information on this, you got to hit me up. What this is showing you, though, are the highs and the lows in the markets, and I'm telling you that if you are looking on a 3-year cycle with weekly candlesticks, you can see this is just the beginning. Apple has hit the highest it has been in what? The last 3 years? And this is just the first red candle that we've seen. But he's telling you what? Every month he wants you to buy. Do you really see what's happening here with Apple? If you buy. See, it seems like he's a lie. Because if he got into this position, he should have made a video by now telling you that he is down. Now, here's the thing. I know what you guys are going to say, oh, but he talks about investing in the long term. He talks about you getting in and staying in the long term, right? Okay, well, let's keep on hearing what he has to say.
25 shares. The number we want to aim to get to collectively in our portfolio is 10,000 shares minimum. So now the Apple's going to go from mid 400s to 100 and eventually less. When there's a drop, we have an opportunity that has not been here since 2014. So I still want you to continue to buy every month in Stock Club members. This is why I stressed dollar cost averaging in the four. This is why I stressed dollar cost averaging in the 4 retirement picks that we have.
Now you guys do hear this now.
Right.
He's telling you to buy Apple every single month. Like I said,
I need
keep
you to
listening.
Hold this for 5 years.
Hold this for 5
I know a lot
years.
of you guys see us trading Red Panda with futures, getting great gains. I know you guys have been following Mark, right? Options, amazing. But you will not be able to beat time. Minimum 5 years. Ideally, you want to hold for a 30-year period. Everybody type in chat. 5 to 30-year period.
5 to 30 years. And he's really saying this because if he tells y'all to get into these companies in the next 5 to 30 years and it don't do what it's going to do, well, shoot, you got to wait 5 to 30 years to see what's going to happen. You won't be able to tell him that he was wrong because he told you what? To hold it for 5 to 30 years. But I'm actually going to show you guys some information on Apple that you're not going to see anywhere else. See, he's telling you right now to buy Apple, right? Just because the stock split. Well, when you come over here and you actually understand what's happening inside the company, you will see that a lot of CEOs and people who have positions in these companies were actually selling their shares during this time. Let me show it to you right here. Take a look at this. This is called Guru Focus because we focusing on your gurus right now and what they should have told you. Now, this here says Apple, right? This here says Insider. This here says Timothy Cook because he gonna cook your ass while he making some money. Look at this. This guy on the 25th of Aug. On the 25th of Aug did what? He sold 265,000 shares while Ian Dunlap told you to buy. So while he told you to buy, Cook over here was cooking something up. And it wasn't only him. Look at this. He also sold another 265,000 shares on the 26th. And look at this. It's the COO. They've all been selling shares. But I'm showing you specifically the stock just split now. This was in 2020. The last one was in 2019. Okay. But look at 2020. 2020, right before the stock split. This dude sold 265,000 shares. So I'm trying to tell you, the best thing for you to do, if you want to invest in these companies long term and you want to see when is the best time, well, I already showed you one of the first parts of the system. It's understanding this over here and seeing what's happening with these magnetic lines to really understand whether the company is actually in an uptrend or a downtrend, the highs and the lows. Then you need to continue the flow and actually look at what's happening with what? These CEOs. I'm showing you here right now. They weren't buying like he's telling you. They were selling. But if you understood this type of information and then you grasp this and then put it together with what? The Sec 10 form, the Sec 6 form, understanding what's happening in the actual company, then you'd have a better idea. Because guess what? All of these people that you see here, right? Especially when we talk about these bigger companies, you know the one thing that they have that I don't have just yet? It's called a D-Wave quantum computer. They are able to understand what is going to happen and what you are going to do ahead of time before you actually do it. Because these quantum computers are built based on probability and looking at predicting what is about to happen. So these conglomerates already have this type of technology. And it's not only used for science and, you know, what many people may think the medical field, space. No, it's also used for what? For finance. You can see here that some of their largest investors are companies that you see and know, and these are just a few of them. Look, Goldman Sachs, I just told you, these are finance companies that also invest in this type of technology. Why? Because they want to know what you're going to do before you do it. But here you are thinking, oh, if I just follow CNBC, I'm going to be good. Yeah, you're not going to be good at all. What's going to end up happening is you're going to have people like Tim Cook, who's selling his shares right now while you buying. And guess what? He cooking you. Oh, he cooking y'all ass. Look at this. Apple dropped already. And this just the first week. I'm showing you the last 3 years. But Ian done told you to buy. Ian done told you to buy. Because it's a good company. Well, Tim Cook right now says, I'm selling. So what are you doing? Keep listening to this.
Let's say you get hurt, injured, maimed. Something bad happens. You will not be able to trade. The acquisition of these companies into your portfolio, you still will be able to have.
And y'all just eating this up.
So I need you to hold these for 5 years.
I need you to hold this for 5 years.
Since March, you've done an amazing job, right?
So if the company goes down within those 5 years, guess what he's going to tell you? Well, you got to wait 5 years.
So I have to stress, invest long term, because if you would have been in Apple since 2010, you'll be up 4,000 or 5,000%.
And then this is what they feed you. If you had invested in Apple back in 2001, you would have been a man. Okay, but here's the question. How do you know that that's going to happen again? How do you actually know that that's going to happen again? He doesn't. But he's telling you to invest in these companies. I want to see if he pressed the button.
But you have to wonder.
This is why we cut straight to the chase. Instead of me trying to play the guessing game on whether he's right or wrong, no. I just want to see if he pressed the button. Did he press the button?
Not the other way around. Don't trade first and then invest. Invest first, long term, and then trade. So let's talk about this. Microsoft.
Let's talk about this.
To buy TikTok.
Let's talk about another one.
So you guys know Microsoft is big to me.
Microsoft is big. Microsoft.
So when
you already know, we'll get into that later. Microsoft is big.
Healthcare space this decade. Why? Because they have the most amount of money. So this is no different than what the LA Lakers have done when they acquired LeBron and AD.
Here we go with the Rig Sports.
Back in the previous era. So the biggest companies are going to buy the best talent. So when you guys are
these companies are going to buy the best talent. See, what you are witnessing right now, people, if you cannot see it for yourself, let me see and let me help you see. What he is saying right now are just parables, tales about what could happen and analogies for you to kind of understand what could happen. But the question is, why are we wasting our time trying to figure out what could happen when we could just go straight to what really matters and see if he pressed the button? Did you get into Apple? And did it go up? No. I'm not talking about for the last 5 years. I'm saying I want to see Ian's portfolio, because he just told y'all to buy Apple and buy it again and buy it again every single month until you get up to 10,000 shares minimum. But I just told you that Tim Cook just sold 265,000 shares and made all of his money and your money because he knew what was going to do what was going to happen.
Already out there in the market.
And you fell for it.
So, look at this. This is why long-term investing is key.
And this is how look. No. Oh wow. Look who's in the middle. Look who's in the middle, y'all. Look who in the middle. Tim Cook. Tim Cook. Wait a minute. He just sold the shares, and he's telling you to buy the shares. What's really going on here? This is regurgitated information. This is what I'm trying to tell you guys. They are regurgitating information that they didn't actually follow through with, but it sounds good. And guess what? See, this is what happens in this community often, is that new people come in with information, and you think just because they're, showing you something new that, at least they introduced me to stocks and options trading and futures trading, but they didn't show you the real deal. They didn't show you pressing a button. So why should I even be excited that he's introducing this information to communities that may not have it? I don't care. He's not showing you pressing a button. See, that's the issue with what's going on right now. Is everyone just wants to be positive and stupid. Because if I can't get into the intellectual ring with him and actually see if he's pressing a button, then he's no better than anyone else. This is an intellectual ring. And I'm telling him, listen, we're calling you out because I want to see if you are actually doing what you say you're telling the people. Because I didn't even get to his prices yet. Oh, Mr. Master Academy, Master Investor, his academy up there. Take a look at these prices. Y'all don't see these prices. Let me make it big for you. Because see that smoke screen in the back? That's the smoke screen. That's your accounts. You just riding on through on this little bridge here. You don't know where you're going. Just a land of uncertainty. Look at this. I know y'all seen these prices already. $5,000. Just to be in the stock club, y'all don't see it. $5,000. What is he giving you for $5,000? Now, I didn't even touch this one over here. For $5,000, this is what he's giving you. A watch list of top tier companies to consider investing in. The 3 stocks to invest in if the market crashes. The 3 stocks to grab if we go into a full-blown depression. Exit prices on all of our trades. The easiest way to buy stocks in less than 2 minutes. Our favorite app. The easiest tool. 1 month of live trading. This all sounds like a lie. Y'all, do y'all hear what he's selling here for $5,000? Do you really hear what he's selling here for $5,000? Our 3 favorite book recommendations on investing. 3 book recommendations to change y'all life. I didn't know that you needed a Kindle recommendation for $5,000, people. Are you really serious? This is what he gives. Private Telegram room. Showing you how to exactly buy low and sell high. But he didn't show you how to exactly buy low and sell high. Because I just showed you on ThinkorSwim that he told you to buy high. Oh, he told you to buy Apple at its highest. I mean, literally at its highest. So for $5,000, that's what he's giving you. But wait, there's more. Oh, there's more. Take a look at this. $40,000. $40,000, people. For $40,000, listen to what I'm about to tell y'all. For $40,000, he said he's going to teach you stocks, right? How to invest in stocks. And he's also probably going to teach you a little bit of options, but they don't even say that in there. So let me not put that in. He's going to teach you stocks. Okay. I'm trying to tell you guys, for $25,000 to $40,000, if he even knew futures, he should have been teaching you interdelivery spreads. He should have been teaching you intercommodity spreads. He should have been showing you how to hedge. Over here, we do that and more. Listen, for $40,000, $25,000, we not only teach you this, but we also teach you cycle trading, geocosmic cycles, astronomical cycles. Do you want to learn how to trade the moon? Did you know that it was feasible? That you could put the moon cycles right on over here. You could put the moon cycles on your charts and actually understand what is happening in the market. See, for about $25,000, I'm not going to do this. I'm going to do this and more. Listen, for $40,000, I'm going to go to the moon myself, and I'm going to set up my little camera here, and I'm going to do a live broadcast just for you on when you need to buy low and sell high in the market. Just for $40,000, I'm not staying here on this earthly plane. Listen, if you pay me $40,000, I am not only going to teach you future spreads, interdelivery spreads, intercommodity spreads, I'm going to take you to the moon and back. And when I get back, I'm going to also bring you some moon samples so you can actually see that you have the physical commodity while you're trading the moon cycles on top of the euro, the NASDAQ, S&P, and all. That's what I'm going to do for you for $40,000. But he's telling you here for $40,000, take a look at this piece of crap. He is doing this. 20 videos. Now, I know y'all looking at this like, God damn, because I didn't even know that EYL was charging these types of prices. They must have just put this up to invest with EYL. Look at this. $1,000 for 3 videos. What? 3 videos. And these 3 videos are just stock questions, getting started in the stock market, cryptocurrency explained. But y'all want me to be positive. How can I be positive on this when they are literally stripping the culture and y'all don't even realize they stripping the culture because he wearing a suit and y'all falling for it? You know, this is the real reason why y'all fell for Ian Dunlap right here. It's because he keep on that suit. Look at the suit. He got the suit on here. He got the suit on other places as well. Wait. Let me pull up the suit right here. Y'all bought the suit. And mind you, it actually says that, look at this. The suit here, and if you go over here, you're going to see the suit again. But he got on the suit, but he didn't show you what? Pressing a button. See, coming over here to what he's about to continue to talk to y'all about, I keep trying to tell you, we could go all up and through these videos, and we're going to go through a few. But if he's not pressing the button and he's just talking about regurgitated information, I mean, why do we really have to watch the full thing? All he's doing here is telling you what could happen and what could not happen and trying to put some information as to why. But he's not showing you, again, pressing the button. So Why do they have him on here? I mean, it got to be the suit. He keep it spiffy. He makes sure he got the suit on. So y'all do what? Y'all will buy him. So let's go back over here.
He wants to have a case too to say, hey, I prevented a national security breach. An American company bought him. Enjoy. So politics as usual.
And from the business standpoint, people are like, why would
Talking as usual.
TikTok? Well, TikTok is the fastest growing social media platform. It has youth, right? Like my 6-year-old son heard they were going to ban it, and he was like, Daddy, why are they going to ban TikTok? Like he wanted me to explain that to him. So that tells you like the youth is there. But you also know that Microsoft owns LinkedIn, right? So right now, LinkedIn obviously, you know, they probably going to take a loss in this quarter, right? Because businesses are not hiring at the same rate that they did. They get TikTok.
See, this is the exact information I'm talking about, y'all. Regurgitated. Everyone is hearing just a piece over here, a piece over here, and then they bring it together and they try to make sense of it. But it doesn't always make sense and it doesn't always work. And that's the reason why we just cut to the chase and I say, listen, show me the proof. Show me the proof of the trades that you've done. Show me the proof of you pressing the button.
You now hedge your business position, right? Now you have a spot that can grow. So it's a spot that's probably going to take a loss in the short term. But you have a huge platform, right? How many people on LinkedIn? 700 million, something like that?
Yep.
You got almost 1 billion going into TikTok. You got
and because of this, LinkedIn's going to go up. Microsoft's going to go up.
Yeah, well, LinkedIn is actually profitable.
Listen, y'all can believe this if you want to, but it doesn't always happen. And that is the point. If it doesn't always happen, then why are we following this information? This is misinformation. That's exactly what this is. Misinformation. Let's skip over here to hear Ian talk.
1%, 14 to 21%. So you'll be able to do that. Now, the older you get, the less risk you want to have. So
safer bet. So the safer bet would probably be 50-50 split. That's a suggestion. But that's a good question that you asked. But yeah, I'm glad that you actually looked at that 10-year chart. I probably would do like a 50-50 split.
Yeah, if you can split it. So this is a quick cheat code. So I know it's tough for most people to conceptualize. But the way to beat the market is by investing in the market, S&P 500, and combining it with technology. Because on a year-over-year,
combining it with technology,
about 21%, or 14 to 21%. So you'll be able to do that. Now, the older you get, the less risk you want to have. So I will taper that off.
Everything he's talking about right here, just so you guys understand, this is information you'd probably get from a financial advisor where they tell you, oh yeah, move stocks from here, over here, over here. Listen, all they're doing here is trailing the larger indices, S&P 500, NQ. This is not, again, them pressing the button.
But you can just shoot me an email too.
They're not pressing the button. I just showed you Ian over here charging you $40,000, $25,000.
Yeah, because they were saying that the global one is high risk, and of course, like
y'all listen to this. I'm gonna let him
so
talk.
I was like, yeah, but the return was crazy at 23. So I'm like,
that's a good rate of return for a 10-year period. Amazing. So I would do half and half.
All right, appreciate that.
Sabrina,
Thank you.
I'm gonna try this. Hopefully, I'm gonna get this right on the first try. Easymo. Yeah. Hopefully I got it right. Young, you hit unmute yourself. How far was I off?
It was just a little bit far, but that's all right.
What's going on, brother?
Good. How are y'all?
I'm great, man.
Yeah, it's my first time on for like news that comes out about stocks.
All right, let's hear this one.
Make sure that you get the news as soon as it breaks. Because sometimes I get the news like after or at the end of the day, and I'm like, dang, I gotta get this in the morning instead of at night.
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, you can never really get the news before it comes out unless you have inside information.
Actually, I just showed y'all you can get the news before it comes out. Because if you come over here to Guru Focus, you can actually learn about what these insider positions, the CEO, the principal accounting officer, the COO, the director, the vice president, you can see what all of them are doing. So that's incorrect. But what are these people doing again? They're regurgitating information. They watch CNBC. They watch Market Watch. They look at, the first page of the earnings statement, and they think that this is what's actually moving the market. But I keep trying to tell you, these larger conglomerates, they're way smarter than the average retail trader. And they know that y'all are going to do what? You're going to follow what's happening on the news. But if you follow the news blindly, you lose. What you should be doing is trying to understand where they are and what they're doing, which is why I showed you guys, what are they selling? What are these insiders selling? What are these COOs selling? And then not only that, but then also looking at what's actually happening from a cycle perspective. He talks about this. The other two guys that I'm going to show you talks about the same thing. And there's actually another person called Wall Street Trapper. He does the same thing. He's been featured on Earn Your Leisure. And he talks about what? CNBC, Market Watch, regurgitated information. But because black people aren't familiar with this, guess what? They can get away with it. Because black people say, oh, I haven't done this before. It's my first time opening up a stock portfolio, or first time trading. And so they give you this regurgitated information that's going to do what? It just keeps you behind everyone else. That's it. So why should I be happy just because they're introducing it to people when they're not introducing it the right way? What they are doing is they're capitalizing off of people's ignorance. You got this dude over here charging you $40,000, and I'm trying to tell you it's not worth not $4. Look at this. This guy here says that he knows futures trading, options trading, stock trading. It would take me a long time to go through all the videos where he says that, but I'm telling you, he talks about futures, options, stocks. He says that he knows that. But the problem is, exactly, he's not talking about interdelivery spreads. He's not talking about intercommodity spreads. So he's not showing you how to hedge. Let me show you what I mean by interdelivery and intercommodity spreads. You see, when you come over here, right? When you come over here to E-Trade or ThinkorSwim, what you will see is, you'll see this, right? What I can do is, not only can I come over here to the trade tab and do a bull put spread, bear call spread, which are vertical spreads, which they also don't talk about often because they say they don't use them, which many options traders who are real options traders know. Y'all keep buying them long calls, long puts if you want to, and wait for volatility to tap that ass. You need to learn how to hedge, whether it be vertical spreads, bull puts, bear calls, or whether it be something like this, which I'm going to show you guys, which is an intercommodity spread or an interdelivery spread. Let me run that back for you. And while I run it back, I'm going to bring it up for you here so you can actually see an interdelivery spread. This is the definition of one, the meaning of one, I should say. Here you have it right here, an interdelivery spread. We are buying and selling at the same time. We do it in different months if we're doing an interdelivery spread. Why would you want to do something like this? Because you are hedging your risk as you go. No one knows what the market is technically going to do, but however, if you take the system that I've shown you here and you look at the robust strategies like using those magnetic lines and understanding from a larger perspective what these insiders are doing in this company or in the commodities world, the cycles of what's about to happen, guess what? You can actually trade these interdelivery spreads, intercommodity spreads, and make some good bread. Intercommodity spreads are me saying, hey, I see gold, I see silver, I see them moving inversely. Let me make 2 purses instead of 1. What does that mean? I make a check over here, I make a check over here while hedging my risk. The key word is what? Hedging my risk. That's why we started off this campaign asking, do these people talk about what? How to hedge. Do they talk about how to hedge? Because if they're not talking interdelivery spreads, intercommodity spreads, then I know what? I know they're not making consistent bread. And that's why I know I can call Ian out, because he said he knows futures trading, but he has not introduced you guys on this channel to interdelivery spreads or intercommodity spreads, or even how to actually use these vertical put spreads, vertical call spreads to make consistent profits. This right here is the key way for you to hedge your risk, especially when you're trading something like, as he says, the S&P and the NASDAQ. You can hedge your risk on all of those positions. Question is, why are they not teaching you that? Because they're not trading. They making their money by teaching you something funny. 40,000, 25,000, 5,000, and these two over here, oh, they just collect 1,000 just for being there. They just collect 1,000 just for having it on their channel. They're charging people $1,000. They have one of the largest podcasts in the black community, so you know everyone's seeing them. They interview a lot of heavy hitters, which we're gonna get into in a moment. So then, of course, people are running over there and thinking, oh, they must know what they're talking about because I see this face and I see this face and I'm polarized by all these faces from all these places, so they must know what they're talking about. Plus, he got on the suit. I'm trying to tell you, if they're not pressing the button, they're just like the rest. They're not
50%.
showing you
So
the truth.
It already was up. Same with Madera. Same with a bunch of other companies, Apple, Beyond Meat. So I can say, you don't necessarily want to buy something just based on good news, but that can be on your watch list. Yeah. Now what you do is you develop a watch list, right? And it's like, okay, now when something because there's articles that come out about a company pretty much every day. Like there's some kind of news on a publicly traded company every single day. Like if you go to Market Watch and type in any company, you'll see news. It might not be a major headline, but there's some kind of news.
Pushing you over to Market Watch.
You have your radar up for any kind of news that comes out, good, bad, minor, whatever. So now you're in a better position. So I wouldn't necessarily look for like the headlines. The thing is just drive yourself crazy trying to chase the latest headline of a company to buy, and then you'll feel like you're too late, and then a new headline will come out. So you just want to just stay up to date on all news, but especially the companies that you have.
So you're saying don't drive yourself crazy with one or two headlines, but you want to look at all of the news. I just told you guys, if you're not understanding things from a cycle perspective and from the actual understanding of what's happening inside the company, you are going to run yourself crazy following the news and what the news says is going to happen.
Everything he just said is 1,000% true. I would just add,
no, it ain't.
Actually add alerts. So those companies that you're looking at that's on your watch list, if you put it to your alerts, when the news comes out about it, it'll update you, right? So even in some of the publications, like you said, Market Watch or Market Insider, CNBC, I just
talk, but they ain't walking the walk.
Every day I'm reading, so if it's a headline, great. And then sometimes if you go deeper into the articles and you go deeper into the page, you'll find some news. But keeping your alerts on and creating your watches is very important, because then it focuses in exactly what you want to be looking at and the news that you're trying to find.
And I'll tell you this too. This would be a hot take, but if you invest in good companies, you don't need to. So this is a stress-based question. I don't want you to look at news as much. I want you to focus on quality, because then you'll be able to sleep on the night.
What does he mean by quality, y'all? This is exactly what I'm talking about. I don't want you to focus on the news, but I want you to focus on quality. How do you know the quality? How are you getting this information? And see, some of y'all are going to actually be crazy enough to say, well, he does his studies. He does his research. Research from where? Proof. Where's the proof? Where is the proof? Where is the proof that because this happens, this happens? Because I can show you some proof. Let me run it on back. Where is the proof, people? Because he's going to say, oh, because this happened, this is going to happen. But how do you know that they are correlated if there is no such correlation to look back on? See, they going to tell you, oh, if you had invested in Amazon 10 years ago, you would have been a millionaire. But they didn't know to do that. And if they did it, then why aren't they doing that? Idiots. See, the problem is he didn't press the button. He's just using hypotheticals to show you guys what you could possibly do, which is one main reason why they all do this one thing here. Oh, I'm not a financial investor. Don't take my information. I'm just trying to, show you guys the game. No, y'all think that they're saying that because they're protecting themselves. And I'm telling you, that's just game. The reason why they're saying that is because they literally like, yo, you on your own with this one. Not because they pressed the button and they didn't press the button. And if they press the button, guess what? You know what? Let me say this. If they press the button, I will pay Master Investor, Earn Your Leisure here. I will pay them to see their accounts. To see Ian Dunlap here, pressing the button. Y'all don't hear me. Let me get the money out for y'all. Let me get the money real quick so y'all know I ain't acting phony. Here it go right here. Let me zoom on in with the camera. Just zoom on in with that camera for me so y'all can see the cash. Y'all know that I came with the cash. Here we go right here. I got the hundreds for you. Let me fold that out. I got the hundreds for you right here. I will pay Master Investor. I will pay him personally. I will pay him $10,000. You know what? No, $20,000 to see his account. And you know what? Not $20,000. Let's up that a bit. That was a little bit too small. $50,000. We will pay $50,000 to see Master Investor's portfolio. And I'm telling you guys, the reason why I'm doing it is because he told y'all to hold these companies to 5 to 10 years. He said he's a master investor, and he's been mastering this thing for a moment. Okay, I am here to be the Robin Hood, the real Robin Hood. I'm going to show you guys that they're not actually pressing the button. I'm going to put my money where my mouth is. So we're going to pay him. You see the hundreds? I know you see the hundreds. I'm thumping through the hundreds, trying to get through the hundreds. 1, 2, 3. We still counting here, and I'm telling you, this is all for Ian if he can prove that his account is on fleek. Because he over here charging people $50,000. So I might as well say, shoot, instead of me paying it or paying you, I'll pay you to do something better. I will pay you to show proof of a live account with your profits, logging in, showing us how you've been pressing a button all this time. Because I know y'all see here, I'm still thumping through the change. This is all hundreds here, and I know you see that little thing right there, so you know that is real. Take a look at that. I know you see it. No fake money over here, people. I know you see it. Okay, let me keep going. I'm just trying to show y'all that we the real deal. This is not sex appeal. What this is showing you guys that they're not going to show proof for all this cash, because I'm still flipping through it. All these hundreds. I know you see it, every single one. Why are we doing this? Again, to show him that we are speaking with our money. Because y'all charging people about 10 of these. Y'all charging people $1,000 for 3 videos. For 3 videos, y'all charging people $1,000. Okay. I'm going to charge you $40,000. $50,000 to show us proof of you pressing the button. Pressing the button. I'm still thumping through it. I'm still thumping through the cash. And I still got more to go. I'm still thumping through the cash. I know y'all see it. I know you see it. I know you see it. I know you see it. And I'm spending time on it because I want him to really know how serious we are right here. You guys have been given the stage, right? To show black people how to earn your leisure. Okay, I'm going to show y'all how to really earn your leisure and how to actually know if someone is showing you proof. So we're going to put the money where the mouth is. All right, I done went through almost all of it right there. Y'all get the point. We want to see if he can press the button. And I'm going to pay him to show that he can actually press the button. Because I could watch all of these videos, right? I could go through all of these videos here. But what I know is I'm not going to see him showing that proof. So instead, let's just cut straight to the chase. And let's go over here. All right, let's go back over here so we can hear what he is about to say. Let me hit play. There we go.
I'll tell you, these last few months. So originally, Stock Club members, the list that I have for you guys was dramatically different. The world changed, and I said, okay, if I have to put my life on the line, that's how I came up with those 4. What we all want to do is we want to sleep well at night. We don't want to worry if our money's going to catch on fire. So when you buy good companies, you don't need to see every piece of it.
Good companies.
Stock Club worked out well. I get to keep my friendship with Rashad, Troy, Mike, Jamal, right? You guys not flaming me on IG. But when you buy great companies, the same way as you can draft a great player, you're not going to have to check. Like, so if you have a player that's a knucklehead and you have to supervise him a lot more, GE, Ford.
Man,
Kodak,
get to the point.
Let's
see if let's skip a little bit more.
$30,000 and $50,000 losses.
Okay, yeah, let's hear what he has to say here.
Protect themselves
From losing.
They want to protect themselves first and foremost, but also they got to protect people as well. Because you see what happened in Robin Hood, the kid killed himself. Rest in peace. That was an unfortunate situation, and he didn't actually even lose that much. It was a mistake in their system. But you know, a lot of people, you never want to invest in anything that you don't fully understand. And there's no shame in just taking your time. So, like I said, options trading is not for everybody. It's not for everybody.
Options, and he agrees. But here's the thing. I don't agree, because options trading can be for everyone if you understand how to hedge. So the question is, especially since Ian here knows futures, options, and stocks, why is he not teaching the people how to hedge their risk with spreads? I've heard him talk about spreads before, but they talk about it and they quickly brush it off, not knowing that that is really the gold here. If you want to hedge your risk and make consistent profits, vertical spreads, interdelivery spreads, intercommodity spreads, that's how you actually hedge your risk. Okay, let's keep it flowing.
So you fully understand it, I would not invest any money in options.
Yeah, but everyone
until you fully understand it.
Options, write this down. 300 practice trades before you go live.
Where do we go with?
Y'all hear this? 300 practice trades before you go live. If your strategy actually worked, why do I have to wait 300 trades later? You guys are crazy. If the strategy actually works, because he has different types of strategies here, and I'm going to show you one of them, where he says he uses the SMA, the EMA. Okay, if the strategy actually works, really think, why do I have to wait 300 practice trades later? It's because it always don't work. That's what I'm trying to tell y'all. It doesn't always work. And that's why they don't press the button, because it doesn't always work.
In which people want to go right to the pros and don't practice. If you ask any ball player, they practiced for 16, 17 years before they got to the league. I'm begging.
The analogies, the parables, to
right
go
now,
along
to
with the
talk about
story.
trading. A lot of people are not telling you when they're having these massive $20,000, $30,000, and $50,000 loss.
Hello? That's exactly what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying. Do you think Earn Your Leisure has made a video on their $20,000, $30,000, $50,000 loss? But I'm trying to tell you, this guy tells you to buy not 10 shares of Apple. He tells you to get all the way up to 10,000. So when he says 20, 30, 50, I know he's speaking from experience. But why did they not bring this to you? Why are they telling you to buy Apple, 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 and they're not telling you about their losses, losses, losses? This is what we're talking about when we say this is master confusion, to where they're telling you to do something when they didn't do it themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we have to be responsible too, because we want to paint a realistic picture. We just don't want to say like, "Yo, this is how much money you make in options."
I'm happy you said that.
Well, so that's
he said that they want to be responsible, and they want people to know that it's not all about winning, right? Okay, so you know what? I'm just gonna skip over to this next video that we have, where Earn Your Leisure brought on another person who trades options, and I know y'all gonna get mad about this one, because of his age especially. But listen, I don't care if the person is 5 years old or 85. If you're not pressing a button and you on the screen talking about you pressing the button, we gonna check you. I don't care if it's a frog, a dog, or if it's a woman from Echelon. I don't care who it is. If it came from this star or even from this solar system, we are going to go after every single trader who says what? They make trades, they make money, but they don't do what? They don't show you pressing a button. So let's get over to this one right here, because this is Market Mondays with Christian Jones. 13 years old. Let's bring him on up here.
Stocks to get them.
Because what I'm really showing you guys is that these three, right? They're all older than me. I'm older than the 13-year-old, but they're all well older than me. The question is, why are they not going to push this guy, this 13-year-old boy, in the right direction? Because you're going to hear him lie, and they just going to support the lie. Listen to this. Listen to this.
Well, hold it, and you don't actually own the stock. You merely own the option.
Okay, here we go.
Buy the stock.
Let me bring him back just a bit. So he's 13 years old. He speaks options, right? You guys think he's articulate for his age, and so y'all listening to him. But you got grown men here who don't press the button, and you gonna hear this boy say he pressed the button, and they just gonna agree with him without him actually showing proof of pressing the button. Take a listen to this.
Yeah, I do mostly options. I do invest in stocks more so like for long term, like most people. I do mostly options.
All right, I'm glad.
So mostly options.
People have been asking for options, and we're gonna do an options show next week. We're working on something special. But this will be a good intro for that. So, can you? I was gonna explain it, but I'd rather you. Can you just explain for the most people aren't too familiar with options. Can you just explain like what options are as they pertain to like just investing in regular stocks?
Sure. So as far as the main key differences between stocks and options are this. So as far as stocks, we know you actually own a share in the company. You actually own stock in the company. And
so again, he's here as a 13-year-old. He sounds articulate. He's telling y'all about options. Many of y'all in your 40s never heard about options. So I know what's happening right now. You guys are looking at this like, wow, this young kid is very intelligent. And I'm trying to tell y'all that as young as they come and as intelligent as you may think they seem, that don't mean they press the button. That doesn't mean they press the button. I don't care if it's a 10-year-old. Yes, you were just looking at the fact that he can tell y'all options trading and you can't tell me options trading. But I'm trying to tell you that he ain't trading. And he's not showing you guys proof of it. It doesn't matter the age.
Hold them forever, and you can pretty much pass them down. And the main difference between those and options is With options, you can't hold it, and you don't actually own the stock. You merely own the option.
You only own the option.
Buy the stock. And when we're owning options, we have these things called.
Let me actually skip here to the part where he talks about his own strategy. So let me skip over here.
Stock. So I do actually teach a strategy on that as well.
Oh, we're definitely.
So he teaches strategies.
I have to you up to get on that, man, because shoot, I thought options was for the big boys. You out here, you teaching me.
It is a big boy, but he's a 13-year-old big boy. Shaq, we appreciate you.
They can't play you. 100%.
That's a fact.
100%.
You know I can't play you. Yo, gentlemen, thank you. I appreciate it.
Trades versus, let's say, scalp or day trades do you do on the option side?
I don't actually know the percentage. I would say if I were to make one, I would say swing trades about 30%, and then I would say scalping mostly 70%. Scalping is one of my favorite strategies because
scalping is one of my favorites.
Like I said, it's consistent, it's short, it's quick. It's almost like legal drug money.
Okay, let me stop it right there, cause Ian's over here shaking his head like, yeah, I agree with you, man. Scalping is consistent. It's like drug money. And he's shaking his head with his 13-year-old saying this. But wait a minute. Scalping is not consistent. And if this young kid is saying that 70% of his strategy is scalping, you should be stopping him right there. Because the main thing, again, that you should be doing if you're trading options or futures is hedging your directional bias, i.e. interdelivery spreads, intercommodity spreads, and then also hedging with options. So as the three older people in the building, they should be doing what? They should be helping him understand what he should be doing to make his knowledge on options trading stronger. But instead, what do? They got him here talking about his strategy, right? But not showing proof. So then the cycle just continues of people not showing proof. Older not showing proof, younger not showing proof. Look. Talk that talk. Let me run this back so y'all can hear it.
Mostly 70%. Scalping is one of my favorite strategies because it's very, like I said, it's consistent, it's short, it's quick. It's almost like legal drug money. Like it's quick, it's easy.
Illegal drug money.
Like you don't have to be here all day. Like you can make $5,000 in like 10 minutes. Boom.
Short target, then long target.
Do you hear him? But wait a minute. Ian just told you in another video that, oh yeah, you need to do long-term investments. Now he has a 13-year-old on here and he's talking about short targets. But wait, he's telling you can make 5,000 quick like. But didn't they just tell you in this video that they want to be responsible? They have a 13-year-old here saying that y'all can make money quick like. You can make 5,000 quick. Did you know that you can lose it just as quick? Did they show you those losses? No, they didn't show you anything. They didn't show you the profits. They didn't show you the losses. They just trying to show you that they the bosses, but they're not the bosses. Because guess what? Real bosses press the button. And they're not pressing the button. They have a 13-year-old kid on here that's just going to be lying. Look at this. And listen to who going to call
the
in.
earnings report. It's a big one for the financial world. We got a lot of our big banks that are reporting this week, which should tell us pretty much what the economy is really looking like. So today we had PepsiCo, and we saw some of their earnings. The sales of the beverage was down, but a lot of the snacks helped them lift up their earnings. So Tuesday, tomorrow, we got JP Morgan Chase, we got Citi, Wells Fargo. And,
what did I tell you guys? Regurgitated information.
See what the airlines look like.
Everything that he just said here is not going to help you make one trade under the sun. None of it. So why are we wasting time talking about all this information that they found from this source, and they just put it together for a show for you to do what? To keep you in your leisure, but you're not earning nothing. Look at this.
And Wednesday we have Goldman Sachs, and Thursday Bank of America and the stock that I am watching and Jamal's watching, and Ian, I'm sure you're aware of it too. Netflix will be reporting their earnings, and we're going to see if this 523 price for their stock is validated.
Mumbo jumbo. Let's hear the 13-year-old speak.
Courses at once is my
guidelines.
Talk about your course, Christian.
Talk about your course, Christian.
Sure. So, actually, I have a couple of courses.
Oh.
So,
couple is makes money.
Go over the options one.
Options. I got two of those. So, so I'll talk about that one course. So I have one course called Black Wealth Matters. And in that course, I do go over options. I go over the option chain, how to do the calls, puts, what you need to know, how you can automatically set up your trades as well, so you don't necessarily have to be active in your brokerage account or even really be active in the market that much. So you can set them up automatically where they can execute, buy, and sell for you. So I do go over that, and I also go over investing in that course as well. Not only just the basics of investing, everything as far as terminology and all of that, as far as when it comes to the stock market, but also how to find those companies in which to invest into.
This kid here, 13 years old, is going to tell these grown people here and other grown people as well how to find these companies and invest in these companies. Now, what do you actually think he's about to say? It doesn't even matter what you think he's about to say. I'm trying to tell you, he didn't show you pressing the button. These three didn't show you pressing the button, but yet they are supporting him with his course, and you already know it's not going to be cheap, where none of them have shown you pressing the button. But they want you to spend $1,000, $25,000, $5,000, or maybe even $40,000, and they're not taking you to the moon like I told you I can. So the question is, what are we actually doing here? This is what keeps the black community back. When you allow this to happen, when you take the younger and you do what? You allow them to showcase some knowledge, but they're not showing you how to actually take this information and grow from it. How to actually trade. Because they're not showing you them pressing the button.
So
facts. But that's
Black
facts.
Wealth Matters, and that course is $779.
$779.
My master course.
And I got a master one for you.
Success series.
True.
And the True Success series, you get everything you get in with the Black Wealth Matters course, and you get additional features.
And you get additional.
You learn about cover calls. You learn about the different strategies that I use personally. You also will be added to a private Facebook group. That Facebook group, again, that's what I was talking about. I think about half an hour ago. As far as when it came to the Tesla trade, well, I don't necessarily tell you what to do because that's illegal. Not going to jail. I'll tell you what I'm gonna do.
And you guys keep saying this illegal thing, and he got this from them, where it's illegal, you can go to jail. Listen, you guys take this information and you try to put it other places as well. Oh, it's illegal for me to show you a statement. I know he just said drug dealer, but now they talking about it's illegal for me to tell you when to get in. Are you serious? It's illegal for me to tell you when to get in, but I could talk about scalping as drug money. And why I like to do it, because it's like that drug money. But now it's illegal to tell me to get in. This is what you guys fall for.
And then also in that Facebook group.
And pay for it, because a lot of people been paying for it in the chat section. I don't know if you've seen, but I saw $100, $500, $50, nothing like $25.
Allows you to also answer any questions you may have. And like I said, making sure you're understanding the information, not learning the information, but understanding to the point where you
learning the information, understanding the information, both of it doesn't sound like what? Pressing the button.
Go out and teach it yourself. And we don't want you to do that, but to the point where you can.
Oh, we don't want you to go out and teach other people. We want you to stay on it.
So that course is $3,000.
$3,000. $3,000, and he didn't show you himself making $3,000. Do you see what I'm talking about?
One more thing.
One more thing.
So I do also, I'm going to say, have a kids course. I teach my peers as well. And in that course, I show them different strategies as far as how to read the charts and basically technical analysis so they can start it as well. Because I would say the biggest thing for me as far as when it comes to the stock market is building financial freedom and generational wealth. And I would say my overall plan as far as using the stock market as a tool to not only build a community by building businesses. Because I know a lot of people will say, well, support black business. So what do we do with the money?
See, this is what you guys thought. Again, you see a child, 13 years old. You probably got a son that's 13, 15, and not doing half of the things he's doing. Okay, so this is the reason why you bought it. Because you see someone young, especially younger than you, and you said, wow, if he could do it, I could do it too. But the problem is, it doesn't matter if they showed you a dog trading. Did the dog press the button? Did we see the cat press the button? Did we see their live trades? Like I showed you live trades from the County of Dade. That is the main thing that we're getting at here. It doesn't matter who you bring up. All you guys are doing is falling for the emotional side of it as, oh, wow, this is a young guy trying to do what? Do something better with his life. But you're not understanding this. You're not doing anything better if you're lying about it. If these three up here haven't shown you themselves pressing a button, then he's following the wrong role model, because he's looking at them and really they looking at him like, dang, what he doing? But they just don't know. They didn't even look at his portfolio. He actually says in this video that he made about, I think, $60,000 to $70,000 trading Tesla. And that's really what I'm getting at. He said this, and you guys all said hip, hip, hooray. But he didn't show you pressing a button, and it's because he gets it from them. They don't press the button.
We can use the money those businesses make, put them in the stock market. So, an example, let's say a business, I'm just use small numbers. Let's say a business made $100, right? So we put it into the stock market, boom, we're trading, we're investing, and we basically multiply that number by 5. Now that business has $500, and they can use that $500 in order to basically redistribute it. And with this is now having more money, like I said, they can upgrade, they can hire more people now, they can add more locations if they're, I'm gonna say a physical location business. It allows them to do more with that money. So obviously that's my overall goal with the stock market, is create financial freedom and generational wealth, and allowing people to be able to use it as a tool, as an avenue, to be able to make money without having to rely on a job. And I remember a point that you guys made.
And that can happen. But first, we gotta show pressing the button.
Keeping track over here. They said you up 1,000 followers.
You up 1,000 followers.
You too. There's 2,000 people in here. Go follow this young man. The truth.
This is the real reason why he's here, by the way, y'all. This is the real reason why he's here.
Get Christian on the EYL podcast.
To that, I actually have used it as far as when it comes to options.
Let's go back a bit. What'd you just say right here? Let's see if that's gonna flow for me.
I actually really haven't used it. I have to look into that. I actually haven't used it as far as when it comes to options. I mostly use technical analysis when I'm trading options. I might use it for stocks, but not options.
Brandon, Christian.
I might use it for stocks and not options, but again, I'm not seeing any proof.
And what percentage do you start to sell off your options?
So that really depends on. Well, actually, I'm gonna break it down this way.
Yeah. So let's say scalp and swing trade.
Okay, so here I'm gonna go through a whole process of how my system works, as far as from just buying options, investing, all of that. And it's actually based off my nickname. It goes like this. So it's truth. T, to have 20 companies that you like and that you already buy from. That goes to the first part where you gotta find those companies in which to
y'all hear this, right?
We call that your circle of 20.
Your circle of 20.
That goes into finding the patterns, which is technical analysis, which is also part of scalping. So that goes into finding those patterns, so you know what entry points to buy in. Because
see what I told you guys? They brought information that this community has not had readily available for who knows how long. And because it's new information and they got a 13-year-old saying it, guess what? You guys are all looking like, whoa, the future is bright. But the future is not bright if they're not showing you what? Pressing the button. Proof of these trades. All they're doing here is introducing you to the general scope. He just told you to find 20 companies that are good companies and to look at the technicals, scalping, swing trade. But this doesn't say anything about when I got in, when I got out, how I pressed the button, why I pressed the button. This is just, again, regurgitated information that they find from other places.
Then you have you understand the historical data behind those companies. Again, history repeats itself. And like you said earlier, I do look at those charts to see those companies are very consistent and strong companies and have been in situations that we are currently in right now and have made it through a lot. And there's companies that can only grow from here because tech is not going anywhere anytime soon. Then you have
the way that you trade tech can be a lot smarter than they're showing you. And we're going to talk about some other people in here. There's another guy by the name Mark Monroe who trades stock options, and they've shown him on here as well. And he's told you guys to make several tech plays that are
So
currently
this is more
in
so
the
after
negative.
hours. What I mean by that is maybe I'll see a trade after hours, or about when the market is about to close, and I don't necessarily make that trade today, and it really just gives me the time to sleep on it. So this is more so for swing trading. Like I said, it gives me time to sleep on it, make sure I'm basically reevaluating my steps.
Look at these three above.
Especially if I'm investing.
They don't even know what to do.
So it allows me to sleep on it. Like I said, reevaluate, making sure I'm making the best decision for myself. Then you have have an enter and exit strategy. So this goes to your question as far as my percentages. So as far as having an enter and exit strategy, you have to have it because y'all probably know this from experience. You cannot be greedy at all.
An enter and exit strategy. I keep trying to tell you guys, regurgitated information. Which YouTuber did he listen to get this piece? An enter and exit strategy. But where is the proof? Where is the entry and the exit? Where are them pressing the button? This is what I'm trying to show you. They keep giving information that you've already heard other places. You've heard about this other places. Okay, why are we going based on this when Ian, EYL University, and the Truth Jones didn't show you pressing the button? And y'all gonna say it's because it's illegal. Y'all are idiots for thinking it's illegal.
Be up 5,000 one day.
Illegal to show proof.
Nothing. You cannot be greedy.
You cannot be greedy.
Shout out to my traders. Like, you know, with that passion, he's experienced losses. So when we talk about trading, you know, no cap. Like,
no
that
cap.
comes from losing. Every single trade.
But y'all didn't show us the losses. Yeah, you said, oh yeah, it can happen. But he told me real quick that he made 60,000. Why didn't he tell me real quick when he lost 60,000? Y'all gonna hear me one day. One day, one of these videos gonna speak to your Kundalini. It's gonna speak to the back, the bottom of your spine, and you gonna reawaken to say, aha, this is what she was trying to say the entire time. They're not pressing the button. This guy over here told you $60,000. He made it in Tesla, trading Tesla, right? But now we're talking about the losses, and they can't put a number on it. They can just say, oh yeah, you can make great losses. What does that mean? They're not showing you pressing the button here because they didn't press the button either place. And they're not profitable overall. Because I told you, we'll pay to see it. Listen, the 50,000, right, that I talked about for Ian, okay, we'll do another 50 for him, for Christian Jones. We'll do another 50 for him as well. 50,000 if he can show his live account with proof of profits. Both of them. Oh, you know what? All four of them, because they say they trade options too. We will pay to see all four of their accounts because I'm trying to show you something here. They talk about the trades, but they don't show you the trades. And there's a reason why they're not showing you any of these positions.
So, yeah, thank you. Thank you.
No thank you for that. I'm not thankful for that.
He's only 13.
And we gonna go into these two right here. True.
I need them truth. Put truth in the YouTube comments right now. He's just spit. He's only 13. Too much game.
Too much game. No, this is really a game though. It's a game with your money because I just told you they're pushing him. They're promoting him. But they're not promoting his actual success because he's not proving it. And as a 13-year-old, he knows this. He knows he ain't proving it. Look at them cheeks. Look at them cheeks. He know he ain't proving nothing. And y'all falling for it because of the cheeks.
There you go. Willis, we coming to you. Unmute yourself. You've been unmuted.
What's going on, fellas?
What's going on, man?
I want to
thank
you all. Once again, I just started last week.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, y'all should call me last week. For those of you who haven't listened to Ian, this he tells us not to do, and trust me, it hurts. So listen to Ian and tell your friend to tell a friend.
Listen to Ian. These are now. That's another part of Earn Your Leisure. They got all these people that call in, and I really need y'all to wake up and smell what's really happening right here. Because y'all not seeing it. You're not smelling me. Look at this right here. Someone just called and said, oh yeah, you need to listen to Ian. Does that not sound like they text the person and said, hey, call in? And I mean, come on now. It's not that difficult. This guy didn't show proof of pressing the button, and he's over here charging $25 $40,000, $5,000. You think he's making bank? I know he's probably making bank, but he's making bank on this right here, selling courses and memberships. And boy, this is probably some of the largest prices I've seen for someone selling any options course, a futures course, an options course. $40,000, $25,000. I mean, do I really have to play more of his videos, guys? Or do I just have to show you this over here for you guys to actually see that, yes, we should be asking for proof. All of you guys should be asking for proof. I mean, he charged him $40,000. Why would you not ask for proof? You're not asking for proof because you didn't know that you could. And I'm here to tell you that you can and you should. Because when you have people like this, Earn Your Leisure, right? That has all these different celebrities, names that you've probably seen that we're going to get into. Dane Dash, right? You got this one over here talking about Africa and African Americans, which we're also going to talk about. You got all these people here, Rizza Islam, right? And so you expect and respect the status that you're seeing. But all of these people are keeping you in your leisure, literally in your leisure, hexed in your leisure, to where you can't even think of anything beyond. This is what you call the Matrix 101. And this is keeping black people in the Matrix 101. And so we're going to go through some of this now on who actually earned your leisure. Who is Earn Your Leisure? How did they get the platform that they got? And what do they promote to the people? That's what we're going to talk about. What do they promote to the people overall? So let's head over here so we can check out this video. It's called The Bridge Between African Americans and Africans.
You got experience on both sides of the coin, from Black American experience and African experience. So my question is, like, we're in a day and age where Afrobeats is...
Y'all listen to this a bit. Oh, yeah. Do you see this at the bottom right here? It says presented by J.P. Morgan Chase Bank.
Don't want you to know you're from America.
Oh, don't tell him too much. All right, let's play it.
Last year. How can we bridge the gap between the different cultures, between African Americans and people on the continent of Africa?
Do you hear this?
Not just economic development, although that is important, but just culturally and just different things of that nature. You have a unique perspective on that. So I think that's one of the things that can actually drive the needle as well if we do more.
So we have this video here where you can see that these four are doing what? They're talking about African American, and they're also talking about Africans. What they're pushing, though, is this, what they call the bridge between African Americans and Africans. But as you can see at the bottom right here, it says what? It says presented by J.P. Morgan Chase Advancing Black Pathways. So what are they doing here? First of all, this is sponsored by J.P. Morgan. And J.P. Morgan doesn't want you to actually know what? That you're not from Africa. Many of you guys are not from Africa, and you were never from Africa. What you're seeing here is some misinformation on a whole nother level. This is African Americans and Africans here. Are you serious? Let me show y'all some proof.
Collaboration across continents. So have you thought about that?
Yeah, 100%.
Have we thought about that? Have we thought about what? Look at this right here, y'all. Y'all see this? Y'all over here thinking that y'all are from Africa. And majority of y'all are not from Africa. You from over here. Let me show you some proof. Let me show you some proof with some faces that you're already familiar with. Look at Whoopi over here. Look at Whoopi over here. This is a tribe, a real Indian black tribe that existed here in the Americas before the Native Americans, or the ones that you think are the actual indigenous people. Okay, before they came, you had these ones right here. But they don't want you to see and know that black people were what? They were already here. They were everywhere. All Americans or African Americans, what is an African American? What is, like, literally think, what is an African American? And y'all gonna tell me, oh, an African American is somebody who's black here, but they have descendants of Africa because they were brought here on slave ships. And I'm trying to tell you that black people were already here. And I'm gonna show you some proof. But first, you can already see the proof is in the faces. I mean, look at Michael Clark Duncan over here. Tell me Michael don't look like a Mayan.
What?
Look at that nose.
Look at the nose.
Look at that head. Look at that structure. Look at them lips. You mean to tell me that this man came all the way from Africa? Look at this one over here. Look at Russell. Russell. Look at him in the Congos. Not in the Congos. No, he was over here in the Americas. He was over here in the wilderness in America. Look at him. Melanesia. Look at all of these different people right here. This is what we are talking about.
Sir Francis,
look at this one. Look at this one. Kodak Black. Kodak Black was already here. You can see it right here. Went from Haiti to America, not Africa. But again, this is one of the largest misinformations in the black community. And you guys are still following. Look at this one. Look at George Gore Jr. Look at him. The original inhabitant of South America. Don't that face look alike? Look at him. He making that face right now. The faces of America. Look at Brian White here. Indigenous. Because guess what? These people were already here. Look at this one. Wiz Khalifa.
Queen Khalifa.
Yeah, because Wiz Khalifa really comes from Queen Khalifa, because Khalifa, the name, California, you know California? Okay. The real California, where they got the name, was Queen Khalifa. Because guess what? There was a lot of black people, black Indians, that were already in California. This Wiz Khalifa know what I'm talking about, if you know what I'm talking about. But look at this. Why isn't Wiz Khalifa and all of these celebrities telling you that they were already here? Look at this man from Brazil. But y'all thinking he came from Africa. Africa, my ass. Look at this. Come on. Look at his sister. This right here, tribal. Not Africa, America. Right? America. Look at this one. We're talking about the Mayans here. Do you not see the phenotype of America? Look at that nose. Look at your nose. You were already here. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Look at Jill over here.
Jill Scott.
Look at Jill Scott. Oh, she just don't know. She was in New Zealand, baby. She was in Oceania. She was all over the place. But guess what? These people don't know, or actually they do know. You're the one who doesn't know. And we have Earn Your Leisure over here telling you that they building the bridge between Africa and African Americans when there is no such thing as an African American. Let me really get into this for you, because we're going to go deeper. This is what you call a real Indian.
Nigga.
Look at her. Oh, real nigga. Look at this. Mississippians. Ancient black Americans. Ancient.
Real nigga.
This is in Miami.
Real nigga.
And we're talking about people who were here before Christopher Columbus.
Real nigga.
But this is what you are expecting right here. And I'm trying to tell you.
Look at this.
Oh, they already know what I'm talking about. You got all these black people thinking they from the same continent. Thinking they all came from Africa. Y'all over here thinking that you all came from Africa, and they laughing. And they know why they laughing. Because again, when you hear of these people, and you could take all of this information how you want to, I'm trying to tell you that the black people that you're seeing around you were already here. And there's proof of it. There's artifacts that shows that this information was stripped from you. Look, we're talking about the Mississippians. Did you know that there's a lot of pyramids that are found here? And when you talk about, look at this. We're talking about ancient paintings. These are coming from 1000 AD in Arkansas, in Mississippi. And they're showing what? Black people. Look at this over here. You've been used to seeing this in Africa. And I'm telling you that, as you can see here, it was also in the Americas. Let me make it a little bit bigger so you guys can see it. Because you're used to seeing this right here and saying that these are the Native Americans. And I'm trying to tell you that you have always been here. This is the American genocide that no one wants you to know of. The American genocide, 1492. When Christopher Columbus, they say, came over here and made this a corporation. When they came over, they made this a corporation. There were already people here. About 100 million, as you can see, on this hemisphere. Okay, it doesn't matter if these numbers are correct or not. I'm trying to tell you that they were already here. They saw them here, and what did they do? They switched and put other people into power. And there's treaties that show that the black North American Indians, yeah, you can see they were exported to other places, but really they were replaced by the new Native Americans that you're seeing right now that you think are the actual Native Americans. Look at these people, man. These are pictures that are showing you that melanated people were always here. Not just the melanin that you see and know. I'm talking about the melanin that you see and know. You. Look at this. They were already here. These are pictures showing that they were already here. Why don't you know this? Why have you only seen these faces and thought that they were the only ones here? It's because, going back again to Earn Your Leisure, it's because of misinformation like this. You have people here saying that we need to build the bridge between African Americans and Africans. No, what we need to do is to tell African Americans that they're not African Americans. We need to tell them their actual history. Because when you come over here and you start learning about what's actually happening in history, take a look at this. This is from the 19th century. Aztec couple. Do you see that man's hair and that lady's hair? This is in Mexico. These people were already here. You were already here. You were already everywhere. But when you have misinformation like this, how can we grow? How can we flow? And y'all may be thinking, oh, but Samantha, you going too far. No, I haven't gone far enough, because I've only made it to this first topic and I'm still flowing with you, because I'm trying to tell you that everything that Earn Your Leisure has been showing you, right? These different interviews that he has with some other celebrities, plus what you're seeing here right now. Why didn't they present the other side? Why are they telling you to go back to Africa? Because again, you can watch this video for yourself. You can see that this one's 8 minutes. They have other ones that's up to 43 on this same topic. The whole point is they're not showing you what the actual truth is. You have people from Africa, yes, but you also have a large amount of black people that were already here, that were already in California, that were already acting a fool in Georgia, in what was then Georgia, not what's Georgia now, but back then it was something else. Okay, you had them all over. Had black people in Miami. You had black people in Mississippi. You had black people in New Orleans. And I'm talking about well before any other settlers came here, any other Europeans came here, they were already here. But you're over here thinking that all of the descendants just came on slave ships from Africa. Seriously. And this is the reason why you continue to just gulp it on down. Because we have people like this who's then doing what? Saying, oh yeah, we need to build the bridge between African Americans and Africans. What is an African American? This is what I'm talking about with misinformation. You think just because they're providing you information that it's all good sensation, but I'm telling you, you need to go to, again, a higher vibration, because everything that they're showing you here is a lie. If we didn't first talk about that piece right there, African Americans, because there is no such thing as an African American. What happened here is a genocide of black people on their native land. And then this became a corporation where they took your native land and told you you came from all over yonder and you fell for it. Why? Because you have these people in our community that are feeding you that information, and you have others outside of your community that's doing the same thing. But I'm here to break that whole threshold. I'm going to show you a different perspective, not only from this, but also from some other videos that they've made. Y'all know, damn Skippy, that this looks like Diana Ross. Like, why are y'all playing?
Come on.
Look at this. Come on now. Chippewa. She was already here. Chippewa away. That's what I'm trying to call. Look at this one.
Come on.
Bill Cosby. Mayan Mask. Bill Cosby, you was already over here acting a fool. Look at this one. Everyone was already here. Look. They were already here. Look at this one. Now y'all see the do-rag, right? Y'all been wearing a do-rag. Y'all been wearing a do-rag for thousands. You niggas been wearing do-rags, playing ball for thousands of years. Look at him. He rocking it there, and that look like his uncle. But you just don't know. This was what? Hundreds of years ago. Okay, well, I'm trying to tell you that, look, he had on the do-rag, and he had that shit kind of spiffy. Real niggas. Look, .com. Look at this right here. Look, Queen Latifah. She was already chilling in Mexico. What you mean? All of these people were already here. So why do we have Earn Your Leisure over here? Look at this. A misclassified indigenous aboriginal. That's what they look like over here. Not what you've been seeing before. These are faces of indigenous people from not only South America, but as you can see from North America and sprinkled into the Central Americas and the Mexico areas as well. Look at this. It's a Mayan ball player. Y'all think Kobe was playing ball. Y'all need to check out the Mayans. Oh, they was the real ballers. And this was happening what? All the way back yonder. But here you are thinking what? You came from Africa. And here is Earn Your Leisure telling you that we need to build the bridge so y'all can go back to Africa. But y'all never came from there. You were never there to begin with. And this is just one conversation. Let me actually allow Dane Calloway to give you some more information on this. Because this guy right here goes into some details on how the American Negro, again, you see it right there, is the American Indian. We were already here. Let me start from this one so y'all can hear it from a different face. The American Negro is the American Indian because guess what, baby? We were already here. Let's start it from about, who's out? Waka Flocka. I'm gonna let Waka Flocka let you know who's in the video.
Hey, where you get that number from? Shit, I just checked the books.
Here we go. Check the books. Now, mind you, this y'all favorite.
I know, like you're not. 80% of slaves were already here. It was natives.
You hear that? 80%.
Hey, where you get that number from?
80%.
Shit, I just checked the books.
Check the books.
Yeah. I got a whole laptop.
Check the treaties.
Yeah, just me reading.
Now he got a whole laptop full of shit. You know, actually, this is actually a great point right here. Waka Flocka. Because you know what type of music Waka Flocka make. Why Waka Flocka ain't tell you this?
In his rhymes.
Why didn't he tell you in his rhymes that you were already here?
They're not allowed to.
And he just told you that he has a laptop full of this information. So y'all really think celebrities are stupid, right? Y'all over here thinking celebrities are stupid. They don't know real history. And they've climbed up to those ranks and they haven't dived into this over here, which is the occult sciences and the occult esoteric knowledge and what you just don't know because occult just means hidden. Okay, I'm trying to tell you that they understand this and they know this on a whole nother level. Waka Flocka just told you. He has a laptop full of information showing that 80% of black people were already here. You go play Waka Flocka's song and tell me where he said it in the lyrics. Why can't he say it? It's because he can't say it. He can't say it. He's not allowed to. Because when you're in this industry, right? The industry, because he's in the industry, it's owned by what? Oh, I'm going to show you. You guys already know that hip hop has long term, especially when you're talking about on YouTube, you got to go through Lyra Cohen. You got to go through those faces in those places to get what you are right now. And they're not having it. They're not having you say something like that to the public because then what would happen? Black people would wake up and say, wait a minute, I'm from here. I was already here. That's why I be grooving like this because I was already here. But look at this.
It's not a solid book like
the other people not telling you this.
Slaves came here and, nah, nigga, you gotta read. You have to literally read. Like, I'm so.
But he didn't tell you this in the lyrics.
Into it, I don't think about a slave ship. I think about what was a slave ship called? Jesus. What the fuck was a slave ship called that Christopher Columbus was on? Who funded that slave ship? Who paid for that boat?
Why didn't he say this in his lyrics?
What was their background?
People don't understand. Black people did not just come from Africa.
Thank you.
Black people were already in the
That's
States.
another what? Hip-hop rap artist. Now, I don't know Busy Bones, so I don't know if he be talking about that in his lyrics. But I'm just telling you that especially those mainstream, the bigger names that you know, him, wait a minute. Bone, let me type that in real quick. Bone Thugs and Harmony. Bone Thugs and Harmony, right? The thuggish, ruggish Bone. Let's just hear if one of his songs talks about this. Let's just play this one right here. You know what? I ain't gonna play this because I know YouTube gonna play with me. Listen, you can go to these videos yourself. I'm trying to tell you that they're not going to show you what? They're not going to show you that you were actually from here in these music videos, in their lyrics. And the reason why is because they signed agreements to where they cannot disclose certain information to you. So why are we even praising them? I'm not praising them. I'm just showing you that they already know. Listen to this.
And people got to do their history to understand black people were already in the States.
Mm-hmm.
People don't know that, though. They don't get that part. You know, they don't know that Nat Turner was really an Aborigine. That ain't Africa. You can look at Nat Turner and the depictions of him and know he was an Aborigine.
He was an Aborigine.
He had a different vibe.
Majority of you guys were Aborigines.
So, people don't, like, really know that. Not all black people did not come from freaking Africa. Because it's going to be very, very difficult for you to make it in that goddamn ship at the bottom of that goddamn ship for 3 months.
Hello, but guess what? You guys aren't thinking. You're not thinking.
When the food get low, do the math.
All of y'all came from Africa.
Do the motherfucking math.
Do the motherfucking
Seriously,
math.
Just ushering everybody in on boats.
One by one.
The long goddamn way. They not stopping. Ain't no bathrooms on that motherfucker.
No bathrooms.
Come on now. Come on now. Do the math. That's all you gotta do is do the motherfucking math.
Do the motherfucking math.
For real. The human body won't last that long. You on a boat for 30 days, you ain't eating nothing but fucking slop. I mean, and feces and
And
shit.
y'all think that we all came from Africa.
You're gonna die of disease, man. It's gonna be like 3 black people left whose bodies are physically fit enough to be able to withstand all that pressure under the goddamn ship.
But y'all don't want to hear that. Because you actually want to believe what, and I already showed you over here, what McGraw-Hill textbook, right? What they told you over here. That's what you want to believe. You want to believe that you actually all came on ships and you were all slaves and that's how you got here. And I'm trying to tell you that it was a genocide that happened over here that all of you guys are not aware of.
Keep that shit.
Can I just end with this one thing? These 4 brothers sitting here, we didn't all.
Oh, and this is on NBA.
Africa. And there was a there was a country before 1492, and our history goes way beyond 1492. So you can't start us at 1492. We were always here. We were always here.
Do you hear this?
It's time for us.
Look at this one.
Feeling with these niggas, man.
Jaheim.
Eagles don't fly with guns. They don't fly with guns.
But Jaheim didn't tell you this in his lyrics.
Baby, I'm grateful, man.
When I was a kid and I was watching everything Cash Money did, and all of them had each other's names tattooed on them.
We're gonna talk about the rap
when I was younger, I didn't
industry
understand it,
as
but
well.
then, when I started going to New Orleans, like, you know, on tour and shit,
we tried.
The way they are with each other, they love each other a different way than everybody else.
It's Indian.
That's all I get
It's Indian
this one.
territory. It's tribes. Like, people be thinking Indians with the Pocahontas looking. That ain't how Indians look. They look like them people in New Orleans. Louisiana, all over Louisiana. Them Indians, tribes.
Indigenous.
And when you take people that...
Now, the main problem I have with this is I done showed y'all 6 different celebrities, and none of them have made a track yet talking about that we are actually from here. So really think about that. They're saying this, and we're watching these clips, and you're like, dang, I'm learning some new information. But wait. It's misinformation because they didn't tell you this from the beginning. Neither did Earn Your Leisure. Kevin Gates definitely did.
We family.
He done put more black people in jail than anything.
People in America or Native Americans, they always dealt with extraterrestrials. They called them the star people. And yes, they were black. This is where the word Indian comes from the Latin word indigo, okay, which means blue-black, and it's a skin color, okay? And so the Indians that you see today, are what you call $5 Indians, okay, which are Caucasians, actually white people, okay, and go look up the Dow's Commission, go read the Dow's rolls.
Read these.
White people was
Let me run it back.
Indians, okay, which are Caucasians, actually white people, okay, and go look up the Dow's Commission, go read the Dow's rolls. Back in the day, white people was allowing other white people to sign the Dow's rolls, saying that they was Native Americans in exchange for benefits and assistance from the government. So,
does this now sound familiar? Question is, when we come back over here,
and I feel like
why aren't they talking about this?
To, like, be a portion of
now this looks a lot like dimmer, right? Because Earn Your Leisure was supposed to be showing me how to earn my leisure, but they couldn't even get it right on this African American versus African tip. African American, you keep calling yourself an African American and they love it. Why? Because you don't know your true history and you don't know that you were actually here the entire time. Now, that's just talking about race in a video that they made. Because all of these videos that I'm getting from Earn Your Leisure, it's just right here. And I just picked some of these different videos. And the next one, to keep on flowing, is now him talking about why the Department of Defense paid the NFL millions. So my question is, I just showed you guys, especially a lot of hip hop artists, a lot of rappers, a lot of just a mixture over there, right? And then some activists as well. Question is, why aren't they telling you this? But then why are these over here still pushing you into the matrix, i.e. via sports? I showed you NBA earlier, right? Did you guys know that it's rigged? We're talking about NFL. We're talking about NBA. We're talking about all of it. Sports are rigged. And it's been proved that it is rigged. Do you see it right here? You could just type it in for yourself and it'll say sports being rigged. NFL, NBA, NHL, all of this information, all of these sports that you're seeing are rigged and in different ways. You could have, even if you're talking about basketball, did you know that it's a magnet in the ring? So when they throw that 3 shot, when you think it's a 3-pointer, oh, it's all rigged from what you're doing in the hood. It's not the same thing. And everything that you're seeing here is rigged even on a deeper level. Why are we still pushing this? This is not helping the culture. Y'all think it's helping the culture. Sports, hip-hop artists, even pushing, 13-year-olds who say they can trade but don't show you how to trade. It is not pushing the culture. It is a mirage. Because everything that you're seeing here is not proven through what? Someone pressing the button. So here we are talking about sports again.
Low class.
Low class. Because when you're talking about these sports, and if you don't know it's rigged, no, what you should be pushing these people into, we should be talking about millions going into the science, going into the laboratory. We should be getting a lot of these different kids to do what? They should be doing different laboratory experiments in the lab. We should be talking about putting millions into that. Getting a lot of these kids to learn about the molecular breakdown of their DNA. We should be learning that. We should be studying this to do what? To advance ourselves. Because if we had more black people who are actually studying the DNA instead of going out and shooting hoops, trying to be like LeBron, not knowing that sports again is rigged, what would end up happening? We could actually shift this entire culture. We could have black people over here dancing and, prancing with what? When they make a new experiment, when they see some new studies that's happening with the DNA. We could have, for example, a lot of more black people who are now in the lab and they're saying, you know what? I'm not getting excited because of this. I'm getting excited because I just found something completely new, just playing with the dark matter or antimatter or learning about anti-gravitic propulsions and actually learning about that instead of pushing them over here. Don't push them into something that's complex. Push them into something that's actually simplex, and will teach them how to advance the entire community. We need to push black people over here because this is what's going to advance everyone. Not this. Not this.
They told Cat,
look at
stand
this.
up if you want to play for a team. And all his teammates, they say a thing, stay woke. So one of the things that happened is...
this is what they want to talk about.
The
NFL.
a settlement with Colin Kaepernick in his
NFL,
case
NBA.
Against him. So it's pretty interesting because.
No, none of this is interesting. What would be more interesting is if I got some kids who said, you know what, I'm going to teach you guys how to use the quantum computer. I'm going to come over here to D-Wave, and because they already have a LEAP program here where you could start to learn how to actually work this inner computer, and you could actually go through the information for yourself and do what? You can start to learn how the quantum computer works. Instead of going by binary codes, you can learn about the superstate. You can learn this information just by coming over here and stepping into a whole new spectrum. But what do they have you doing? They have you jumping over there into the NFL. They have you looking at the NBA. They have you saying, oh, what kind of new car can you get? They have you looking at the hip hop, the rap, but they're not pushing you over here when everyone else is over here. This is the most important thing that you could be doing. If you want to earn your leisure, how about we earn our leisure the right way by first getting our genetics together and actually learning what's happening inside our body. Did you know that your codon wheel has stopped spinning and it's not supposed to stop spinning? But wait, if we invest in this type of technology, we could learn how to interact with what? Our junk DNA and actually invoke it and learn way more than we know right now. See, that junk DNA that we have, you just think that it's supposed to be there, but it's not. We actually need to activate it. But first, we may need the technology to do that. So this is where we need to be pushing our youth. This is where we need to be pushing everyone. It's into what? D-Wave quantum computing, and then also learning about the genetics. Not coming over here and with the Department of Defense paid millions to the NFL. This doesn't do anything for anyone. But guess what is behind all of this? You know the biggest thing that's behind all of this? It's the music. The music. Hip-hop industry, the rap industry, it has you all wrapped up just like the DNA that I'm talking about. And you don't know it. You don't know it because guess what? It sounds good. See, Earn Your Leisure has not only talked about hip-hop, rap, all of that, but they've brought the rappers on their page. Why? Because you guys are polarized by seeing these faces. Look at this. This is an interview that they had with Dame Dash.
And it just blew up.
And look at the name of this interview. It says what? Dame Dash on building brands and culture vultures in the entertainment industry. Culture vultures. I just showed you guys culture vultures. Vultures in the culture are telling you that you're African American. Vultures in the culture are also telling you you're African American, but in their music, they're not telling you that. They're telling you to kill other blacks. They're also telling you money, sex, and drugs, and that's it. That's all they want to talk about. Really think, why is that all they want to talk about? It's because they sign contracts, and that's all that they can talk about. Those are the real culture vultures. See, he's going to be over here telling you, oh, culture vultures are people who try to get into the black community and mess with the black community. But wait, what did you do, Dame Dash? Because if I pull up this thing on my page right here called IG, right? If y'all want to see a culture vulture, let this play while I pull it up.
Success.
Listen to this.
But you focus your energy on your own thing as opposed to trying to be included in somebody else's situation. So
it's because I'm a general, I'm not a soldier.
Well,
that's what people have to understand. A soldier is never going to check a general, and you know you can't have so much expectation.
Wait till y'all hear this part.
Or someone with a slave mentality. They resent your independence, and I had to learn that.
So do you feel that more emphasis should be put on supporting and growing,
I found it right
especially
here,
for black people, their own businesses as opposed to trying to be included in diversity programs in other people's businesses?
I'm a firm believer if you don't want me in your house or I don't like your rules, fuck your house. If I'm buying your house and kicking you out, I'm going to build a bigger one and be more comfortable and you can't come over. And that's the way I approach things and always have.
So another area, and I wasn't aware of it, and it wasn't common to us, but you were involved in art before any of us thought it was cool. And you had your art galleries in Tribeca, correct?
Yeah. Let's see what he talks about with culture vultures.
See, now am I gonna tell you what you should do? I'm gonna help you do it.
So
this is what they push right here, y'all.
In the political climate, like this is unprecedented times. Black Lives Matter. Everybody's
it's a great time right now.
Black Lives Matter. Wait a minute. Black Lives Matter. But Dame, on your page here, you talking about culture vultures? On your page here, let me see if I can zoom in on this for y'all real quick. On the page right here, I can't play this because of copyrights, but if we focus the camera, you'll be able to see this right here. And you can go on his page yourself and you'll see, this is on his IG page. You'll see that he has a show called Dress to Kill. With a whole bunch, look at that. With a whole bunch of white women shooting at black men and black people. Now that's just the first one. Let me find the other one real quick for you. That's just the first one right here. Look at this. This is what he's showing y'all. Now, what does this do for the culture, y'all? Please, somebody tell me. What does killing other people do for the culture? Look at this. You got women on here with AKs, ARs. Look at this. Now, what does this do for the culture again, people? And I'm showing this on my phone again because of copyright. What does it do for the culture for me to have a whole bunch of white women and other races killing black people? They got the ARs and the AKs. Listen, I got one right here for you too, baby. And this ain't paper, this ain't plastic. You can see I got it too. So I'm gonna tell you one thing. We strapped over here. And ain't nothing wrong with being strapped. I got this one right here. I got my little friend right here. But the question is, why is he showing you this? Why is he pushing this and then also pushing other cultures with this? And they shooting you. And you think this is cool. You think it's cool to pull up Dame Dash on your channel here. He got the AK. He got my little friend right here. But really, they got the big boy right here. And y'all think it's cool. Y'all think it's cool to see a whole bunch of other races with this right here just throwing it at y'all. Now, the reason why I got this is so y'all know I got a sweeper. So when I do this, I don't miss. And this right here means that I didn't come to play, Dame Dash. You got your girl with one. I got one too. But the question is, why do we have this and why is he pushing this with the culture? Why is he showing you other cultures with this right here shooting you right there? And we're all saying, oh yeah, Dame is the man. Dame is the man. Dame ain't the man because he's getting his game from the man. And the man is telling him what? You need to do this. You need to show a TV show of other races killing black people. But he just said culture vultures. Who's really the culture vulture? Who really the culture vulture, Dame? Because you're saying that these people came into the community to harm the community. But right you got white people with this right here harming the community.
That's like asking me if I'm gonna win a fight.
Not for you. I'm just saying.
But y'all think this is cool because it's Dame.
Then I just tell you, we're gonna redo education.
I got a network. What is he doing on his network? He has a full show on Dress to Kill again. And mind you, the people that I'm talking about in the video, he lives with, that's his wife. Yo, if you go on his page, the reason why I'm not showing it, I'll put the link in my description. Y'all gotta check her out, man. That's his girl. She got one of these in the movie doing one of these at black men. And y'all think this is cool? Y'all think it's cool to be a fool. Basically, she got one of these bad boys, a sweeper. I got a sweeper and I told you. I got my little friend right here, so you know not to fuck with me. Listen, this guy right here is pushing this on the culture. Why is he pushing this on the culture? The same reason the rappers aren't telling you that you were already here. Because they don't want you to know this information. They don't want you to know that all of this is misinformation to keep you what? In your leisure. Keep you in the matrix, the hex. Now, I'm going on pretty strong on Earn Your Leisure. I done talked about the stock market. I done talked about, not health just yet, African American. Now you got the hip hop industry. Now you got these moguls that y'all look up to called Dame Dash and the rest of them, which have been doing what? Still putting you in a hex to keep you in this hydrogen dome. Dame and Jay-Z, they all doing what? They have put more black people and more black men into prison than a little bit. Their music, Dame Dash, Jay-Z, all of them, The music that they have created has done nothing but destroyed this culture. Facts. That's the only facts. Because it's put more black people into jail. It's caused more harm to our women by degrading them and causing what? More single mothers. And y'all here thinking like, oh, but the music doesn't do that. You have choice. Stupid. The music is literally telling you how to live. The music is the culture. You guys got the music, or you got the culture from the music. And what music have they been creating this entire time? Music to make you dead. That's it. To put you either in prison or to have you dead the next day. And this is who we're praising. This is who they bring on for the culture. This is Earn Your Leisure. And as you can see, they got Dame Dash on here. And they all looking at him right now like he the big dog. No, they should be kicking his ass right now. They should be saying, wait, Dame, why did you make all this music? Why did you make this show called Dress to Kill? Why did you support the hip hop and rap industry knowing that it's been causing more subcomage and mental damage on your people than anything? Everyone's a culture vulture. All of y'all. Because every single one of you is not saying what I'm saying. You won't tell people that they were actually here the entire time, i.e. the real Black history, nor will they do what? Nor will they put that in their lyrics. Instead, what will they tell you? They gonna show you the guns, they gonna show you the sex, they gonna show you the money. That's it. So who is behind them? Why is Earn Your Leisure allowed to have all of this fame when he pushes these people? When they push these people? It's all tied in. The reason why they have this platform is the same reason why they have this platform. They've all signed agreements to keep you what? In this hex bubble, in this matrix, and keep this community retrograding. That's all that's happening right now, is the community is retrograding. You got people like Dame Dash here that made a full-on show with white people killing black people. You got Jay-Z, who's put more men in jail through his music than anybody. You got people like Beyonce, who got women in the days just being materialistic, not being able to see anything higher than the material realm, not going into the studies. Why did all of them not put this into their music when Waka Flocka just told you, oh, I got a full laptop of this. You got a full laptop, but you don't have any lyrics that talk about this. It's the same thing. And when you're dealing with people like this, Earn Your Leisure, oh yeah, we started off this conversation, y'all was saying, oh man, here she goes. She's not going to be positive. What is there to be positive about? If we're really trying to make a charge, shoot, allow them to still be positive. I'll be negative, and we'll really create a charge. That's going to do what? That's going to charge you to raise that vibration. Because you got these people over here being all positive and stupid. And you got me over here not being positive and not being stupid. Because I'm not going to fall for the same thing they're falling for. Now, look at them. They're all way older than me. And here I am schooling them. Dame and the rest of them. Because all of them should have told you this. They should have told you from the beginning, you were already here. Hip hop has been doing more death to the culture, killing people, putting them into prison, pushing what? Drugs and all of that. And I already showed you in the previous video who is behind that. Because you have people like Lyra Cohen who just became the head of YouTube Music. And if you look at World Star Hip Hop for yourself, or if I bring it up here for you, because we don't need to see Dame, look at this. World Star Hip Hop. You have all of this music, and y'all can go through this yourselves. You probably already go through it because they got 24 million subscribers, and you probably one of them. Look at this. All they're gonna do, mind you, this is Kevin Gates here talking about Weddy. But he didn't tell you again that y'all were already here. Look at these videos. All of these videos showing the same thing. The money, the sex, the drugs, the murder, to keep you dumbed down in this state. How could you think of a D-Wave quantum computer when you're listening to this music over here? This is where they want the black culture to stay. They want you to stay in a hex. And it goes right back to options trading and futures trading, because the way you do this is the way you do that. And if you're doing it this way, guess what? That's why we got black people in the options futures trading industry lying. Why? Because they can present information to you that you don't readily have available, and what ends up happening? You fall for it because you didn't know. Just like you didn't know that you were already here. But does it really matter if Earn Your Leisure didn't know this? Or whether they did this on purpose? Or does it matter now that you're finding out the real truth? Because Earn Your Leisure wouldn't have told you this. If you keep watching Earn Your Leisure, y'all know exactly what y'all gonna get. You gonna get more of this right here. Irv Gotti says that he's partnering with 300. Do you know who 300 is? We're literally, look at them. This is Ashanti and Irv Gotti. He just announced that he is now relaunching his Murder Inc. label. Murder Inc. Murder. Wait, why am I bringing up Irv Gotti? Because guess who has a video with them? Guess who has a video talking about Irv Gotti? Earn Your Leisure. They have videos here, and I'll type it in so y'all can see it. This video is talking about Irv Gotti. Irv Gotti just relaunched his label, and it's called what? Out of all things, it could be called, look at him right there, Murder Inc. label. Do we really need more murder in the community? And y'all think I'm negative. Negative? Oh, this is negative. I'm not negative. I'm showing you guys what you couldn't even see yourselves. I'm showing you a whole new light spectrum, and y'all better keep listening, because I'm going to show you even more of this shit. Look at this. Murder Inc. Murder Inc. All the same thing. They want to murder you. That's what this is saying. Why would somebody call a label Murder Inc.? And not only that, but guess who he's teaming up with? 300. But who is 300? Lyra Cohen. But who is Lyra Cohen? The head of music for World Star Hip Hop. Or not World Star, for YouTube. But he has done what? He has been able to push and allow all these new rappers and singers who are pushing the same agenda to have the platform that they have. That is the reason why when you look at World Star Hip Hop, all these videos got what? 200,000 views. 62,000 views in 2 weeks. All of these people, and these are people you don't even know. 83,000 views. 73. Look at this. 39. That quick, and it was just posted 15 hours ago. You want to know why they have this fame? It's not just because World Star Hip Hop is the shit. It's because the people behind YouTube want to make sure World Star Hip Hop is the shit. And as you can see, they're pushing this shit. They pushing all this shit, and y'all just eating it up. Why? Because you do this. You come over here, you listen to this music, you fall for people that are in the culture, like Dame Dash. Then you run over here, you eat cheese doodles and gummy bears, because we're about to talk about the health too. And then on top of that, what do? You go sit down and watch some sports while you gulp it all down. It sounds like the Matrix to me. And it sounds like hello, the Matrix. This is what Earn Your Leisure is pushing you in. They want you to earn your stay right here, because y'all ain't never getting out of here. F rockets. I mean, that's not even going to help you get out of this hydrogen dome. But guess what? We can't have those conversations because first, we have to fix this misinformation that's happening right here before us. We got people that's pushing rig sports, the hip hop industry, the rap industry, and calling other cultures culture vultures when they're the real culture vultures. You got all this happening in one place, in one podcast. And then on top of that, they say they're going to teach you how to invest. Invest in what? Invest in a mess. That's all that you're going to invest in. Down from your identity all the way over here. I know y'all see I am schooling these people. And I just got started. I literally just got started because we didn't even get into the health portion of it. See, Earn Your Leisure tries to be, in different spaces. And that's where they went wrong. Because they have all these different people. Health, wealth, entertainment. And they're all doing the same thing. What's that, people? Lying. Lying. And if they're not lying, they're not doing something positive for the culture. Look at this video right here. This is called For Good Company, makes a profit by feeding hungry kids. Now I know what y'all gonna say. Y'all gonna say the same thing that y'all said about a 13-year-old. But wait, they're trying to do something positive for the culture. But wait, they're feeding you something negative. So it's not for the culture. It's not for the culture at all. So what I'm actually going to do, because I've talked about health before in previous videos. I've talked about what? Health, the Maillard reaction, the reason why y'all are so stuck to the meat, and you don't know that COVID is actually in the meat. Okay, I want y'all to check out this interview here with, again, Earn Your Leisure, and this woman here who talks about how she's done good for the culture by feeding hungry kids. But wait till y'all see what she is about to feed y'all. Wait till y'all see this. I'm actually going to make it big for y'all so I can give them the full attention. I'm going to give them the full spectrum. And we're going to start this at 10:30 right here. Take a look at this.
Destitute communities I've ever seen. And, you know, I've been doing this work for over a decade.
Uh-huh.
But a lot of the buildings, roofs are off and everything else. And we'll feed the kids and, you know, we'll have excess food for them to take home. And they just always want the noodles. They always want, like, you know, we try and give them green beans and like mashed potatoes. They don't ever like that. They don't like it because it's just.
The kids always want the noodles. They always want the junk. Why do they want the junk, lady? They want the junk because y'all feed them the junk. And you haven't taught them anything besides the junk. Why are we looking to the kids, asking them what they want? We should be teaching them how to eat. This is just the beginning, though.
We're
this is just the first minute.
Really trying to push this
y'all
on
listen to
them
this.
for them to have like healthy food and healthy access.
Healthy food.
But so many kids go without, and for kids and children of color, which is why it's super important for me to be in this position and trying to do what I'm doing with Gooder. You know, people like us have to solve the problems.
So she just said people like us have to solve the problem. I done solved 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and counting problems for y'all so far. We gonna hear if she's solving the problem in this video.
Too long, you know, people write the statistics, they get all the money, they get all the grants, and they're solving problems that they never experienced before. Whereas I have friends, I have family members that have been hungry. I mean, very few people that don't look like me are gonna go into Forest Cove, you know, a Section 8 housing community where, you know, there are drugs, there's crime, and really try and get to those children, but that's who gets all the money. You know, billions and billions of dollars is spent in grants. You know, at the start of COVID, Jeff Bezos gave $100 million to Feeding America. And it's not to say that Feeding America doesn't serve a purpose, but they've been around since the 70s. They've gotten billions and billions of dollars doing the same thing. You know, just having food banks, giving food to.
And now the black people are about to get a piece of that. And guess what? Do the same thing.
Nonprofits, and it's always just whatever is donated, and then they end up giving people, you know, peanut butter, no jelly, spaghetti noodles, no spaghetti sauce.
Y'all hear this?
People can't make a meal.
Peanut butter and jelly. We shouldn't even be eating peanut butter and jelly. I made videos about this. The Maillard reaction. All of this food that we are talking about right now. Listen, if you were just to look at the back of your Nutter Butter, you would see a whole bunch of words that only belong in what? In the lab. Y'all want to see some peanut butter right here? Let me type in, what's your favorite peanut butter? What's their favorite out there? Jiffy? Look at this. Jiffy, right? And look at the back. Let's just type in the ingredients. Jif. Y'all see this? Made from roasted peanuts, which, by the way, anything roasted, toasted, baked, or fried has already gone through the Maillard reaction, which will create acrylamide. And acrylamide is a cancer-causing chemical that is found in all of these foods. And guess what ends up happening? It is activated by that heat, whether it be roasted, toasted, baked, or fried. You don't believe me? Here it is right here. I'll bring that up for you as well. The Maillard reaction chemical process. And if you type in acrylamide right here, guess what? You will learn that acrylamide is what? Let's take the possible word out there. A human carcinogen. Can be generated as a byproduct of what? The Maillard reaction between reducing sugars and amino acids, especially asparagine. Probably said that wrong, but it doesn't matter because look, that is what's coming from, again, the Maillard reaction. We have asparagine right? That's coming from acrylamide. This is most present in most of your food, which means what? Wait a minute, is this whole thing rigged? So you've been baking, toasting, roasting, frying, and guess what? You also been dying, because the Maillard reaction is telling you right here that that chemical that's in food is activated as soon as you roast, toast, and do any of that. You are going down. Slowly, just like Saturn, but surely. So this is some groundbreaking information that we've actually known for quite some time. It's not new. The reason why I say it's groundbreaking is because it's been happening in the background and no one's been paying attention to it. So allow me to break the ground real quick and bring it back to the forefront. You got the Maillard reaction right here, right? When you're talking about peanut butter, when you're talking about French fries, when you're talking about your favorite cookies and fruit snacks, because you're about to hear her say that she gonna give the kids cookies and fruit snacks, guess what? You are talking about chemicals upon chemicals upon chemicals that the only thing that it's doing is rewiring your brain. So you got people over here telling you we're gonna feed the hungry, but what are you feeding the hungry? Because if you're feeding the hungry this, well, the hungry might as well learn how to be a light body, because technically we all light bodies. So we really need to learn how to do this, but we can't even step over there because look at this. Look at what we are consuming. You got sugar and salt. You got hydrogenated vegetable oils that you don't know where that shit came from. You got mono and diglycerides. You got all types of shit in this food, but yet this is what they're saying that you should be eating. And if you listen to this video,
what it is,
you know, I'm gonna let her speak.
So what I've tried to do
Listen
with
to
Gooder
this.
is actually get people meals, or if nothing else, if I'm giving them groceries, everything that they're getting in that grocery bag is gonna make a meal. They're gonna get a taco kit. They're gonna get
a taco
peanut
kit
butter and jelly.
They're gonna get peanut butter and jelly. They're gonna get a taco kit. Who is Earn Your Leisure? Because again, this is one of the largest Black podcasts, and if y'all tell me that they don't know this, then they don't deserve to be the largest Black podcast. Because if they don't know this information, if they didn't know anything about African versus African American, if they didn't know anything about the hip hop culture and the rap culture, obviously rewiring the brains of so many in the Black community to only focus on retrograding, if they didn't know this, if they didn't know health, and how to actually break down health and to actually bring people on their show who would show you how to eat correctly, the question is again, how did they get this placement? How did they get this spotlight? Because everything that they're talking about here so far has done nothing but retrograde you. But to your eyes and to your surprise, you thought that it was something positive. Because she said what? She feeding hungry kids. And you thought, you know what? That sounds like something good to do. But how is it good if we're still feeding the beast in the background? Because you think that you're feeding hungry kids, but what are you feeding those hungry kids? It doesn't matter that I'm just feeding them. I could feed you shit. Or I could feed you something that's not shit. So why are we not talking about the quality here? It's just like the 13-year-old boy. Yeah, I could have him there talking options, but I could have him pressing the button. Is it powerful for him to press the button or for him to talk options? Because y'all just talk, which is why he just talked. But it would be way more powerful for the entire community if we didn't just see people talking. We saw people doing something. Now you may say here, but wait, she's doing something. She's feeding hungry kids. But I just told you, it's about the quality. What is she feeding these feedy kids? What is she feeding the hungry kids?
And it's
the needy kids, the hungry kids. What are they getting?
Because unfortunately, I sometimes think people want to pacify hunger rather than solve it. Because if you solve hunger, then there's no more $100 million donations.
What we need to solve, like I've already told you guys, is we need to haul at. Yeah, we do need to talk about COVID and the chicken, but that's not what I was gonna say. I was gonna say we need to talk to Monsanto. Because Monsanto is the one that has literally cornered the market by taking over all your food products. We're talking about the seeds. We're talking about the farmers. They are the ones who have introduced these genetically modified foods to your kids and to the parents. Those are the ones who we need to be addressing. we don't need to be addressing hunger, because guess what? If you look over here, if you type in Monsanto, they'll tell you that they addressed hunger. You know how they addressed hunger? With golden rice. They created this genetically modified golden rice, which you can see here says what? Offers no nutritional value, says FDA. But guess what? Monsanto was allowed to produce this genetically engineered food, feed it to hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people around the world. Around the world, they introduced this golden rice to. Had these people eaten this shit, not knowing they dying from this shit. So it doesn't matter what you bring up to me, because she's also going to tell you what? About the chicken. She going to tell you she gave the kids some chicken, right? I already told you guys, long time, that the COVID was in the chicken. I know you see this here, right here. This says chicken wings test positive for COVID-19 in China. Do y'all see this? The chicken wings testing positive for COVID-19. I've been told you COVID was in the chicken. COVID is in a lot of things. It's definitely in the chicken here, though. And as you can see, it's not the only thing that we have to deal with. When you're talking about the quality of food, you have to go back to these bigger conglomerates here who didn't tell you a lick of this. If anything, this whole conversation on feeding hungry kids should be switched to, wait a minute, what are we feeding these hungry kids? Because if these kids are hungry, when they do get their hands on some food, what are they eating? How are those chemicals messing with the chemicals in their brain? Are you feeding them fruit snacks? Are you feeding them fruit cups? Or are you feeding them and teaching them how to actually eat and survive?
Let me ask you this.
No, let me ask y'all that.
Like I said, I don't think people realize how much food gets thrown away.
Food gets thrown away. A lot of this food needs to be thrown away.
That's that question. I just want to make that point because it's like in New York, there's 2 million rats.
2 million rats.
Yeah, you know what? We speaking of hunger, we'll get into that. But
2 million rats.
Yeah, so here's how that comes about.
Is that in the city or the state?
That's New York City. This came about. We were at an establishment. We'll leave their name anonymous, and they were closing their doors, and they were like. We're like, yo, y'all closing. I know y'all gonna throw the food away. This is like before we knew that we were gonna do this. And he was like, yeah, we're gonna throw the food away. He was like, yo, we'll just buy some off you right now. And the conversation got brought up like, yo, you know what's happening in the city since the restaurants are closed? Like the mice have nowhere to go, so they're just like doing all that out in the streets. They're eating each other, and so I came up with a number that was wrong.
Yeah, y'all face gonna be looking the same way. Cause you hear about these rats who turned into cannibals, right? Okay, it's the chemicals in the food that they've been consuming in New York City. But who else has been consuming that food? You humans. You idiot humans, you. Y'all just like the lab rats. You see the rats over there? They did what? They can't get the food. They started turning on each other. Guess what you gonna do? When it actually goes down and y'all can't get the food, y'all gonna turn on each other. It's just a reflection because y'all eat the same thing the rats eat. So y'all know better than the rats.
Oh, that was wrong. And I was like, yo, the city has this many rats. So we looked it up and it was 2 million rats in New York City.
Yeah, because he said...
I definitely have seen quite a few rats when I've been in New York.
Yeah. Y'all gonna be just like the rats.
It was actually a bet.
Y'all gonna start eating each other. Why? Because the rats are addicted to meat. And what are you addicted to? Meat. And guess what? They got COVID in the meat. They got a lot of other stuff in the meat too for you. Let me show it to you again. Look at this. Look at this right here. No thank you, CNN. I'm trying to show them some information real quick. Look, it's already been in the meat. Chicken wings. Chicken wings, man. Do y'all see this and hear what I'm talking about? This is already in the meat. So, the question is, why have they not shown this to you? Why have they not shown this to you? They didn't tell you this because they still eat the meat themselves. I'm trying to tell you, these people still tear down some chicken. They still tear down some chicken, and that's the reason why they couldn't let the chicken go, right? Okay, let me let her continue to talk for a moment. Let me go on back over here, and I'm going to let her talk.
Because there's 16 million people in New York.
Well, there's 8. So there's 8.
Almost 9 million.
There's 8.
9 million. So there's almost like for every
25% of the population.
Okay, so for every rat, there's like 4 people.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, it was a wager that Troy told me that there was more rats than people in New York. So I just found that hard to believe. So we Googled it and we realized that it was 2 million, but it's still a lot.
That's a lot.
So I say that to say
that's more than the city of Boston.
That's crazy.
Yeah, there's 2 million rats in New York. So what's happening is that, you know, there's a lot of restaurants in New York City, obviously. So at the end of the night, they throw the food in, like, you know, the trash, or they just throw it in the alleyways and all that. So what happens is that it's created a whole ecosystem for rats to eat. Like, they know what time the food is gonna go, and they eat the food on the streets.
They're gonna become cannibals.
But once COVID hit, all the restaurants closed. So now they had videos of rats actually turning to cannibals, and they was actually eating each other because there was no food for them to eat, and it just got so desperate, like they was starving to death, and some of them actually, like, they showed, like, there's videos online, they actually eating each other.
So y'all gonna end up doing the same thing.
Now look at this, all these schools are closed, and so think of how many children are like at home or were at home during the summer that were really dependent on free breakfast and lunch at school. That happens. Then we got to think that, you know, there are parents that are working, and so even when these kids get home, sometimes they don't get a hot meal. They have cereal for dinner, or, you know, they have cereal for all these meals now. And what ends up happening is in 27 states in the United States, they measure test scores of children in 3rd, 5th, and 10th grade. And you know what they start to decide is if those kids are going to go to prison or not. So it's really a school to prison pipeline. And so they're like,
y'all hear this?
You know, Johnny's not reading well.
Let me pause it for a moment.
To go to prison. We're going to do another
because y'all make this way too easy.
Is, you know,
y'all heard what she said, right? She said that there is a school to prison pipeline. But here's the thing. Them being hungry is not the reason why they're going to prison, people. Them being hungry is not the reason that they're going to prison. Why are they going to prison, Samantha? They're going to prison because of the music. I just told you. Jay-Z. He talk more shit than a little bit. He not the only one. I know some of y'all like Young Thug, or maybe you a 69 type. It don't matter. All of them talk about the same shit. I'm trying to tell you, and I'm trying to tell her. The reason why there's a school to prison pipeline is because there's a pipeline in their ear telling them what? Telling them what you think they want to hear, which is what? Murder, sex, and drugs, and money, and murder, and sex, and drugs, and money. And it just keeps on going. So what do you think is going to happen if you feed that? Because that's what you're actually feeding. Y'all thinking about the physical food, this dense carbon. No. Let's talk about what you're feeding their minds. Because this whole time, y'all didn't say nothing about what you were feeding their minds, but now we're talking about what we feed in their bellies. This is not what is causing them to go to prison. Hungry kids are not going to prison because they're hungry. They're going to prison because they've been listening to this music, and then on top of that, they've been eating genetically modified food that has literally been rewiring their brains alchemically and chemically. That is what is causing all of these kids to go down that school to prison pipeline. This is what we should be talking about on Earn Your Leisure. And then not only that, but then you also got the movies. The movies that they've been feeding these children, like Tyler Perry. Yes, like Tyler Perry. The Tales. That just keeps you, again, in this matrix. So we got this we got this trio that's going on here. You got the entertainment, you got the sports, and then you got the food. All of this together has been keeping you in this hex. And that's exactly what Earn Your Leisure has been pushing to the people. And as you can see here, they interview people who are not necessarily helping you progress, even if they look like they're helping you progress. This is not helping anyone progress. By feeding kids these genetically modified food items, you're not doing anything but feeding the beast and giving your kids over to the beast because you can't think for yourself and the kids can't think for yourself. We just got two idiots.
Look at is hunger.
Look, not doing well in math. You want to know why they're not doing well in math? Again, the music. They don't have the attention span. But then also chemically, they've been eating fruit snacks and Cheetos their entire life. Like these two. They definitely been tearing down some cheese puffs. So you got the older ones eating cheese puffs. You got the younger ones eating cheese puffs as well. But do you know what's in the cheese puffs? I just showed you what's in the peanut butter. You don't want me to pull up the cheese puffs. I'm gonna let her give you a full menu of what she fed these kids.
Johnny's not
and we're
really
going to look
well.
at the ingredients.
He's more likely to go to prison. We're going to need another prison bed for him. Or Susan is, not doing well in math. But what they never look at is hunger. Like,
that's because hunger is not the problem. It's not hunger. It's what you're feeding them. Both here and both here. What are you feeding them? What is the environment like? Why are we talking about hunger? It's not about hunger, lady. All you did was take a grant and move some genetically modified food from here over here. And you made it more readily available for the black community. But yet I'm supposed to be here saying whoop-de-doo and be positive. Why would I be positive about that?
We use the Snickers commercial, like you're not yourself when you're hungry. And that is so...
You're not yourself when you eat those chemicals. It's not Snicker, you're not yourself when you're hungry. No, you're not yourself, period, when you eat Snickers.
True, because so many kids, they've never been their true selves. And so,
They've never been their true selves because they never ate real food. That's why they've never been their true selves.
Constantly hungry. And so
they've never been their true... Look, they've always been hungry, so they've never been their true selves. And now they're playing catch-up. Catch-up? Man, these kids are not hungry. They don't know what to be hungry for because we have adults who are feeding them this bullshit. They feeding them the bullshit music, and then they turn around and feed them bullshit food.
Free breakfast at school. Well, they didn't eat dinner last night, so then the breakfast is replacing the dinner. Okay, the lunch comes and replaces the breakfast, and so the kid is hungry. They're sitting in class and they're hungry. They're wondering when their next meal is going to come from, and it's even worse for the older siblings. I know you said you have children, right?
Yeah.
So the older kid always is looking out for the younger one. So now you're 12. And you've got like a 5-year-old and a 7-year-old little brother, and you're wondering how you're going to eat, how they're going to eat, and no teacher could teach through hunger. And so what we have is this vicious cycle of kids not eating.
No teacher
still expecting them to
can
learn,
teach
sit in class,
through hunger.
Be quiet and be still, and just you're not yourself when you're hungry.
You're not yourself when you're hungry. First of all, what are the teachers even teaching? That's number one. Because again, I just showed you the McGraw-Hill book, right? I don't even got to show it to you. You know what's in the McGraw-Hill book. That you guys all came from Africa. So first of all, what are they teaching? They teaching bullshit. So they teaching the kids bullshit. Now they crying at the kids because the kids not listening, but they gave the kids bullshit music and they also gave the kids bullshit food. And now we talking about the kids not able to focus. Are you serious? It's not because they're hungry. It's because they've been fed misinformation from the beginning. Y'all hitting them on each level. It's like 1,000 cuts, 1,000,000 cuts. Every single place they look at, it's misinformation. That's the problem here.
The biggest thing is like we've got to get kids food. So our program that I just launched, Neighborhood Eats, we do, we serve lunch on Saturdays, a hot lunch on Saturday, a hot meal to go. Then we give the kids a snack pack.
Dang.
It has like 3 meals and 12 snacks.
He looking like he wants some shit right now. Look at him right here in the red.
Snacks and 3 drinks in it.
Look, he look like, ooh.
So even though we're not physically
he ain't paying us no mind.
It has like, last week's it had a chicken biscuit, Pop-Tarts, orange.
Y'all hear this? It had a chicken biscuit. I just told you that we got COVID in the chicken. You got the chicken biscuit. What else do you have? You have Pop-Tarts. Pop-Tarts?
Juice.
Y'all wait a minute.
And a Go-Gurt. So that was like their
breakfast. And a Go-Gurt.
Yeah, so
did you hear this fool? Now look at Winnie the Pooh over here. He done said, "Oh, sounds like my breakfast." What? Are you serious? Your breakfast? Pop-Tarts, fruit snacks, chicken biscuit. This is what we're feeding the kids. This is what we are telling them they should be eating. But do you know what's in Pop-Tarts? What's in Pop-Tarts, y'all? Because y'all eat Pop-Tarts, but y'all ain't never look at the ingredients. And if you did look at the ingredients, guess what? You didn't pay it any attention. Look at this. Thiamine mononitrate. And they got that one in bold. Corn syrup, soybean and palm oil, dextrose, high fructose corn syrup. Do you see this? This is what she gave the kids to eat for what she calls breakfast. High fructose corn syrup. This right here. It already says why corn syrup is bad for you. And if you don't know that corn syrup is bad for you, well, you idiots need to start researching. Look at this here. Cracker meal, calcium carbonate, all types of shit that should not be in your body at all. You should not be consuming it. But guess what? They're consuming it and they're feeding it to their kids. Why? Because they just think that, oh, the kids are hungry. You got the stupid, or the idiots, I should say, feeding the idiots.
Cheeseburger.
Look at this.
That they have to microwave, chips.
Cheeseburgers and chips.
Like cookies, goldfish, applesauce.
And goldfish and applesauce. This is way too easy. So not only do we kill them with the Pop-Tarts and the high fructose corn syrup, but how about we give them a cheeseburger to go with it? And not only a cheeseburger, let's also give them some cookies. What's your favorite? Y'all like Oreos? Let's take a look at some Oreos here. Let's get some unbleached enriched flour to wash it all down. Let's get some palm oil and some, again, high fructose corn syrup. Let's just get all of that into the meal and let's feed it to our children and then ask them later why they acting a goddamn fool. Let's do that. Let's feed them the chemicals and then ask them why they acting a goddamn fool.
And then it has, like carrots and ranch dressing.
That's the first time they said any vegetable. And ranch dressing? Are you serious?
Fruit snacks. And then
Fruit
we give them like one piece of candy just because we want them to want the box and they'll really take it for the candy too.
So they'll take it for the candy. So let's put some rat poison in the lunchbox because we know the rats are gonna go to it. If we just put a cookie over the rat poison, we know they're gonna go for the cookie. But let's put some rat poison in there and then sprinkle some cookies on the top, so that when they take that lunchbox, they go straight for the cookie and we just poison them. I mean, that's what it sounds like to me. If I was coming from another planet and I was looking at you humans, I'd be like, dang. Not only do they treat their animals like that, they treat their own like that. Let's just give them rat poison, basically. High fructose corn syrup. She did not only name cheeseburgers and chicken, y'all. That wasn't it. She said Pop-Tarts. She said fruit snacks. Also give them some chips and some cookies to go down with it. And give them some carrots with ranch dressing just to add a little color. This is what we've been dealing with in the system. The matrix. And they will keep you locked in this matrix if you listen to them. Because she was supposed to be doing what? Doing good. Feeding hungry kids. But I done shown you a whole new perspective of her good. Whether she knows it or not, does it really matter if we're feeding our kids poison? Does it really matter? Because some of you guys are going to be like, oh, why'd you have to do that to her? She's just trying to do good. Maybe she doesn't know. Does it matter? Does it matter if she's trying or not when we've already been feeding our kids high fructose corn syrup and then putting crazy music in their heads and then wondering why they acting a goddamn fool and why there's a school to prison pipeline? That is the root of the issue. We need to stop tearing down the leaves and get to the root of the issue. The root is not that they're hungry. The root is that you are feeding them all types of food that keeps them not only addicted to chemicals, but they can't really fathom the real from the fake. Nor can they even have an attention span. Because all that this food is doing is rewiring their systems and their bodies. And so is the music.
And then we give them the drink so that kids will come out and they love those snack packs. We almost have to force them to eat
those
the
snack
hot
packs
first, but that's what they want because it's like stuff that they know. But
stuff that they know. Who taught it to them? Who showed it to them? Wasn't it you? Why are we trying to blame the child when you introduced it to them? Whether it be by allowing them to watch TV and the commercials, that's still your fault. Or this. You got the blind leading the blind. And you wondering why black people are behind. Listen, all I'm trying to say here is this community, if we're trying to better the community, what you need to do is you need to straighten your community. You need to straighten them on the health perspective, the wealth perspective, and then also the money perspective. All of it, the money and the entertainment, all of it put together. Because what you're seeing here right now is not only regurgitated information from trading, you're also seeing regurgitated information from the health industry. Because I could put Monsanto on right now, and they gonna say the same thing she's saying. Actually, they'd agree with her. If you put Monsanto and all the 9 on here, guess what? They would agree with her. We need to feed hungry kids. But what are we feeding those hungry kids? I just showed you Monsanto over here feeding those hungry people golden rice. Okay, she's over here feeding your hungry people Pop-Tarts. So who is the enemy? Or is the enemy in a me? Because it looks like it's already in the community.
We are filling this gap.
We're not filling any gap.
They would never get a meal on the weekends.
Yeah, those are the socioeconomic factors that most people.
Well, maybe they need to drink water.
Like I was working
and eat some grapes and apples. Because why are we still talking about hungry kids and you're feeding them shit?
In the city for years, people forget that part. They forget all the factors and all the baggage that comes when the kids get to school. But from a social standpoint, I know you talk about how hunger and the lack of food affects the crime rate.
This is really crazy.
It's just, I mean, it's like, you know, one of the things, I gave a whole TED Talk on this.
This is true.
You know,
I did a TED Talk on it. I did a TED Talk. Y'all need to tune into my TED Talk right now because I done taught you so much. Like, I really changed your entire life with just Earn Your Leisure. I done showed you the music, how they were fucking you over with the music. And then also the entertainment industry. And now with health. And then also with trading. How could you not believe me when I talk about trading? I'm pulling their cards on everything else. Everything that they've been doing here has been retrograding the community.
We start, I remember I was watching, there was a show on BET and I think it was called
on BET. You see what I'm saying? The Matrix. The Matrix, the Matrix, the Matrix. I was watching a show on BET. The entertainment industry. It was about these young women that were in jail. Money, sex, and drugs.
Saying, like, you guys, you know, you don't know, you know, she was like, the way I grew up, she grew up in Tampa, Florida, and she was talking about her and her sisters, them going and stealing change out of wishing wells and trying to put this money together just to go and get a burger.
The story to make you feel
like that level of, like,
a burger.
People doing whatever they got to do to eat. And one of my good friends, Don, from LA, he's an older guy. I think Don he might almost be 60 now. He told me, like, Jasmine, you know, I used to have to snatch people's purses when I was 8.
I used to have to snatch people's purses. See, y'all gonna say that I'm going too far, but I'm gonna pull it right back up for you. They talking about the chicken. I keep trying to tell you. CNN's trying to tell you here. There is chicken wings. There are chicken wings here that are testing positive for COVID-19. This happened right now. But if you type in chicken and COVID, right? Or actually chicken and coronavirus, guess what you will see to your surprise? You will see that there are studies from 2005 saying that there are coronaviruses in poultry and birds. Why would it be so surprising to you that COVID-19 back then was already in the poultry and the birds? They just told you here. A strand, coronavirus has been detected in the past couple of years. But wait a minute, past couple of years? This thing here says 2005. So when did you start seeing it? 2000? Wait a minute, we're 20 years late. Freeze frame focus. We are 20 years late to the party. These people telling you coronavirus been in the chicken. You want to call it COVID-19 or COVID-13? That's up to you. They're telling you here coronavirus is in the poultry and the other birds. But here we are, 2005. 2005 now. What are we, 15 years late? 20 years late? Because it just says here a couple years ago from 2005. So coronavirus been in the chicken this entire time. I'm trying to give you guys some information so that you can then do what? Take this information to a higher sensation to raise your vibration. Look at this right here. COVID-19 has always been here. Coronavirus was in the poultry 15 years ago. And here we are again, still telling kids to do what? To eat burgers and chicken.
You know,
this entire interview should have been on what I'm talking about right here, which is what? How to fix the community by fixing health, wealth, and then also your ideology of what entertainment actually is. Because did you know that we can take our ideologies on entertainment and how we flow and grow, and you can put that into the science lab But you first have to do what? You got to change your music. You also have to change your way of eating. And then after you do this, you can then come over here. But how are we ever going to come over here when y'all still feed your kids Pop-Tarts and Oreos? And you got this one over here saying, oh, that sounds like my breakfast. Are you serious?
That level of just like...
No, we're literally serious. How are we going to get the serious with this?
When they're desperate?
Serious. How are we going to get to the serious star when we still got the community eating like this and not being serious? We can't get the serious A, B, C, or D. Not until this happens.
You laughed about that, right? You know, pressure busts pipes. People, when you're desperation, you want your kids to eat and you want people to have something. It's just like, there's no telling what you're going to do.
There's no telling what you're going to do. No, there's no telling what you're going to do when you listen to trap music. That's where there's no telling what you're going to do. What's that music in Chicago called again? Drill music. Okay. When you listen to Chief Keef, drill music, there's 300. There is no telling what you gonna do when you walk out that door. 300. You gonna need 300 rounds right here. This is what we're talking about when we say drill music and trap music and you not knowing what you're gonna do when you walk out that door. That's real. Not knowing what you're gonna do. Not this.
No telling what you're gonna do. So it does.
No telling.
It does. You know, so much so there were so many crimes committed. So many people were stealing food from Walmart that now Walmart has a rule.
Listen, they was stealing. What did they listen to before they stole the food from Walmart? Let's start there. What were they playing in the car? Like when those kids were going to go steal the food from Walmart? I'm asking you a question. What were they playing in the car on their way to Walmart? Because that had more influence over them than the food. Y'all don't hear me. Let me repeat it again. What in the world were they listening to? In the car. On the way to Walmart. Or Target. Radio. Don't really matter. Was it a radio or was it their MP3? Or were they playing it on Pandora? Doesn't really matter because the rap music is everywhere. That's what they were listening to. I guarantee they wasn't listening to Mozart, Beethoven, or some instruments. No, they weren't listening to that. They weren't listening to Kenny Garrett. They weren't listening to this. Listen. They were not over here. I could come over here and type in Kenny Garrett, or let me type in Christian Scott, because he's a younger one. They were not listening. Oh, not Christian Cotton. Christian Scott. Here it goes right here. He plays the trumpet, and he got some of the best music out, man. They were not listening to this right here. Look at this. Let me play a little bit for you so y'all can hear it. Just a little bit, just a little piece, because I know YouTube may deal with the copyright. I know what I'm doing. You got to do it under 5 seconds and you all Gucci. So I know what I'm doing here, people. This is what you need to be listening to. You got Christian Scott over here blowing the trumpets. They were not listening to Christian Scott blow the trumpets on their way to Walmart to rob them for some Cheetos. That's what I'm trying to tell you. If anything, they probably had some Chief Keef on. They probably had some Kevin Gates, maybe even Lil Wayne. Maybe they took it back to Nas, Jay-Z. I don't know, but I'm trying to tell you it's all the same. It all flows the same. They weren't listening to this right here. So what is actually moving them and grooving them to what they're doing? What is moving them? It's not what she's saying. It's not the food.
They just ban you from the store. They don't even call the cops. But there are just so many people selling meat.
Man, the reason why Walmart say y'all could take it is because they know it's fake. They know that the food is fake. So yeah, they saw a couple kids come in, and if you stole less than 25, we just gonna turn a blind eye to it because we ain't pay nothing for it anyways. We just 3D printed the shit. I mean, Walmart does have a D-Wave quantum computer, and I'm sure some massive 3D computers and 3D printers. So what do you think they're doing? They printing that shit and y'all eating that shit. And now she here talking about, oh, if you steal under $25, it's okay. Of course it's okay. It cost them probably a penny to make that chicken.
Just like it was happening so much, you give everybody those charges, it just becomes a lot of charges, and just the police are coming out all the time. So that it's a real crime. But people get desperate, you know.
They get desperate.
Mom has $25 to her name. She's got a kid and she's got a baby. You know what costs $25? Infant milk. And so it's like, gosh, can I get my
infant milk? Are you guys serious? Wait a minute. We got a woman here saying y'all need to go buy infant milk. Y'all need to go buy some powder and feed it to your kids. Meanwhile, having everything that they need, all of the nutrients inside your body, right in front of us right here. You telling the girls to go out there and go buy some $25 infant milk. They don't need $25 for infant milk. They don't need infant milk, period. Why are we still, like, they're going to try to make this a money thing. But the way in which you should be eating actually is very inexpensive. We're talking fruits and vegetables. You want, if you can't afford the fruits, well, shoot. You want to teach them something? Teach these kids how to grow some plants, some fruits and vegetables. That's what we should be showing them. Because guess what they'll be able to do? They can then self-sustain themselves. They will be able to self-sustain themselves. They will be able to sustain themselves. They will be able to do what? To actually just go outside and grab some grapes. And after we do that, the next thing that we really need to do for them is we need to show them how to then put back the minerals that they need in their body via what? Via amino acids. Let me pull this up right here so y'all can see it. This is what we should be feeding the people. You see this right here? Make sure y'all can see that. There we go right there. And this isn't a plug, but if y'all want the plug, you can see right there, it's Carl. It's Clive to Carl. Either way, we need to be getting them some of this. Some amino acids. The essential amino acids. We need to build back our DNA via the minerals. And you see this right here. This is, again, amino acids. Right here. I don't want to take it too far out because you can't really see the sides of it. But if I just turn it around right here, again, amino acids. What else do we need to feed them? We need to all build back our red blood cells. And how can you do that? By taking some chlorophyll. My bottle may be messed up just a bit, but again, you can see here that this is chlorophyll. And what will this do? This is building back your red blood cells. This is going to be very important for you. Then also, let me go right back to this one because I want to show you some of the ingredients in there. You got L-tyrosine in there. You got L-lysine. Again, some of the major amino acids that you need for your system. And I can show it to you right here, what I was just reading. These are some of the main amino acids that you need. Can I pull it up a little bit closer? And can we focus? There we go. There we go. Screenshot real quick because I'm trying to give y'all some health and wealth for the people. This is what the people really need, people. You need some chlorophyll. You need some essential amino acids. And you need to get your life right and stop eating that bullshit that she talking about. Because that's some bullshit. Look at this. This ain't no bullshit. We talking colloidal silver over here, baby. And when I talk colloidal silver, I ain't talking that cheap shit. I'm talking that brown. Look at that. See those drops? They're not supposed to be clear. When we talk about colloidal silver, ionic? This is what? Not ionic silver. It's colloidal silver. And as you can see, it's about 5,000 ppm. So this is the real deal. And again, this is going to help you build back your immune system. Talking about that brown, that melanated ultra silver, 5,000 ppm. We talking the real deal. We don't deal with that small appeal, that 10 ppm that you get from Whole Foods. No, we talking about the real deal over here. What else do you need to get? Well, you need some other minerals as well. That's all I'm going to show you for now. But get some zinc in your body, get some copper in your body, and start eating fruits and vegetables that have what? Seeds. This is what you should be teaching the people. But here I am teaching the people more than they done taught the people. She says she's feeding hungry kids. What are we feeding those hungry kids? If anything, she should have took the millions that she got and bought some zinc and some colloidal silver and some copper and some chlorophyll. And she should have given this to the community. Because guess what that will do? That will build back your immune system. That is what the community needs right now. They don't need more junk in their trunk. They don't need more Pop-Tarts. They don't need any of that. What they need are the amino acids and the minerals that are going to then start building back their immune system. When we talk about those minerals, the reason why I press them so much is because those minerals are the same ones that are going to do what? They're going to build back your tissues and organs. This is one of them right here. You see this? This is ionic zinc. Let me make it a little bit bigger for you. Okay, you should be able to see it right there. See that? Ionic zinc. This is what we should be feeding our kids. This is the only thing that matters right now. Fruits, vegetables, real fruits and vegetables with seeds, and then also getting these minerals into their system. Whether it be minerals, whether it be the irons, that is what we should be feeding them. Not this BS over here. Not this over here. But let me let her finish, because I think y'all want to hear a little bit more. Even though y'all should really want to see some more minerals over there. But I'm going to let her finish.
And can I feed my other kid who doesn't drink infant milk? Like, it's just so many crimes happen because of people being hungry.
Let me ask you this.
So many crimes happen because people are hungry.
You talked about B Corp, but can you just explain like what a B Corp is?
You need some iron.
You know, you said Baskin and Robbins is a B Corp, or Ben and Jerry's?
Ben and Jerry's, Patagonia, Shea Moisture is one. So really, it's just
we're not even gonna touch Shea Moisture, because I could go into the hair industry and how they putting all these carcinogens into the women products. But did she just say Baskin Robbins?
Shea Moisture is one. So really, it's just it's no different than a regular corporation. So you still pay taxes, but it just means that you are certified that your business has ethical principles. So you're not using child labor. You're getting your supplies from the U.S. That kind of level of.
I had to take a gulp to that one. Wait a minute. She said ethical principles. None of these companies are ethical. Neither is what she's doing ethical. None of this shit is ethical. Like literally. If I flew in from Planet Sharon and I saw what these humans were doing, and I'm looking at what these humans are doing in real time because they looking at what these humans are doing, I'd be looking like, what the fuck? There's nothing ethical about this. You got black people feeding other black people bullshit, and they interviewing them saying, oh, we doing something good for the people. And then calling it ethical. Then talking about other companies, whether they're being ethical. None of this is ethical. Feeding kids fake food is not ethical. Genetically modified food, especially Monsanto, they're literally the largest biotech company in the world. And they have not had one person that has been indicted or charged yet. However, Monsanto is behind the reason why all of these genetically modified foods exist, like the golden rice that I showed you. But then, let me show you this over here. AIDS, you already took it out my mouth. Listen, let me bring this up here, because he told me to bring this up here. Bayer HIV spread. And you may be thinking, wait, what does Bayer have to do with Monsanto? Oh, they all merge. They all merge all the time. And guess what? Bayer just bought Monsanto. But look at this. Bayer, back in 2014. You see what that says? Blood money. I know y'all still pop them Advils. Look at this right here. Bayer's inventory of HIV contaminated blood products. They were putting, and I think there's actually a full video on it. I have it in a previous video. I'll see if I can find it here. But you can already see, this was published 17 years ago. In the 1980s, we had Bayer, who sold millions of dollars of blood clotting medicine. This medicine did what? It was that medicine that carried a high risk of transmitting AIDS to Asia, Latin America, hemophiliacs. They sold millions of dollars of blood clotting medicine to hemophiliacs. Whatever you want to say that is. Again, I'm just trying to tell you. They put AIDS in it. And it's proof that they put HIV in these different drugs that they sold. But wait a second. Did y'all see an indictment? Did y'all see a charge for Bayer? Why are these companies never charged? Really think about it. And then why did Bayer invest in Monsanto? Why is this happening time in, time out? And why are we not talking about this on Earn Your Leisure? Y'all said y'all want to earn your leisure. Well, before we earn our leisure, we need to fix what's happening and affecting our community for real, so we could all earn our leisure. But if you keep allowing this to happen, then they go without having to deal with any indictments. And then we have people in our own black community that regurgitate their information and does what? It just keeps you in a hex. Keeps you in a hex.
It basically means for profit, for good. So at the end of
for
it,
profit,
what it means,
for good.
Is benefit. So you're like,
but they did no good. So it was for profit and no good. Let's call it for profit and no good.
Benefit corporation. So that gooder, we operate for the benefit of public good. So we're not just for ourselves. If we get a customer and we get them to give us their food, you know, we give that food back to the community. So we're benefiting the community.
Okay.
In our
but the tax structure, everything's still the same.
Tax structure is still the same. So like it's in B Corp.
That don't even matter, man. It's sick. It's really sick at this point. I've been going for probably 3 hours now, maybe a little bit longer. Do y'all really see all that Earn Your Leisure has brought to the table? They brought her to talk about a for-profit, no-good company. They got options traders talking about options trading, not teaching you spreads. Talking about futures, not teaching you spreads. They have rappers who come on and talk about whatever the fuck they want to talk about, tails. But then in the background, they're partnering up with Lyric Cohen and 300, people who are known to make music to do detriment to the black community. Then on top of that, they give you sports. And the sports are all rigged. And then on top of that, they give you an identity crisis. And that identity crisis stirs from, again, you not being from Africa. So we have all this information that I've now brought to the forefront on Earn Your Leisure. Been going for about three hours now, and I'm not even done yet. Because after we get through this, they actually have another person that we're going to end this with. And he actually talks about options. Let me see if there's anything else we need to hear from her.
7 states. Okay. Delaware is one of them. But Gooder is like a Delaware C Corp. And we're a foreign entity in Georgia.
A Delaware C
Corp.
Corp.
We're a C Corp here as well. So we still pay corporate taxes.
Okay.
But we are recognized as a certified.
So you incorporated in Delaware?
Yeah, I incorporated in Delaware early on.
Tax benefits?
Because I knew tax benefits, and I knew I was going to be trying to get investors. And so that's just kind of the best way. I think anybody that's in venture capital.
Let me skip this along just a bit.
Ordering things that they're never selling anymore, and then we also help them be more sustainable. So like we're really helping them improve their carbon footprint, which is starting to become really important. Last year, you guys will remember all those high school students. Remember they were walking out and they were protesting climate change. The young lady Greta, she was the time.
Let me skip this part.
It varies. Typically, a good profit margin for Gooder is anywhere from 40 to 49% for us, and so. We've started a grocery delivery service, so we're like the free Instacart, if you will, and we just started this once coronavirus happened. So we saw that, you know, food delivery was really picking up. You know, I'm also an MBE, but I don't think that that's what initially got me in the door. But what it was is I met them through a women's business enterprise conference. Oh, you know, we're a tech business.
I done went through this entire interview, y'all. And I didn't tore this thing apart. Like, y'all don't want to hear more of this. Let me take it back over to options, man. Because all she's going to tell you
a food business,
is just more food to kill you.
You got all these cafeterias at all your campuses, and you feed people.
Cafeterias.
You, in essence,
full of
have
bullshit.
A food business within your business. And so the NFL has a ton of food, so much food. Till this day, I think the Super Bowl customer within the NFL.
Just told y'all about what? The rigged sports. So let's put some rigged sports with some genetically modified food.
It's probably one of our largest recoveries ever. Like, we have 2 tractor trailers full of food.
Full of fake ass food. Now, again, does it now make sense if all of the food that they're giving for free is genetically modified and these larger conglomerates can 3D print that food or just make it for dirt cheap because, again, it's genetically modified? Does it really matter that they're giving it to you for free? It has no use.
Food, and we recovered all the excess food from Super Bowl.
Wow.
So then
now let's feed it to the black people, right? Let's take the food from the Super Bowl and let's go feed it to the black people. Or let's go feed it to just anyone that's in a poor state. It could be black, white, Hispanic, blue, it don't matter. Let's take all the fake food and give it to the poor people. This is what we're talking about here on Earn Your Leisure. Feeding hungry kids. But again, what are we feeding the hungry kids?
They have these
and I should be positive.
Films, like Ozark is one of our customers, so we do all the Ozark film sets. That films in Atlanta. We're trying to get Tyler Perry Studios, so if anybody knows
Tyler Perry Studios. Ooh-wee. Tyler Perry. She said Tyler Perry, y'all.
Low class.
You got the haves, you got the have-nots. And y'all are falling for it. You got the degenerates here. The degenerates. Because all he does is make television shows for degenerates. None of his television shows talks about actually building back your DNA. None of his television shows talks about escaping this realm. It doesn't talk about anti-gravitic propulsion systems. It doesn't talk about magnetics. Doesn't talk about actually understanding the feminine and the masculine from understanding electromagnetic, electric and magnetic. It doesn't talk about astronomy. It doesn't talk about none of this. That's degenerate. They are degenerating you. And what you're doing is you are watching it and you're degenerating in real time. Here she is saying, hey, anybody can call up Tyler Perry. We want to be some degenerates. We want to eat like degenerates. We want to think like degenerates. Hell, we even want to be on a degenerate set. And we just want to be degenerates. And then we got the people above from Sharon looking down like, look at these humans.
Tyler, you watching?
Yeah, Tyler.
Are you watching?
Tyler, are you watching?
All these film sets because they feed. And the greatest thing about why these kind of customers matter is because the kind of food we get people that are hungry.
Wow.
And that's the greatest joy of it.
These people matter. Tyler Perry matters because those are the people that they see, and we're doing it for a good cause.
When I first started, I rescued from Turner, TNT. And I took to one of the shelters and I just wanted to see the process. And this guy was like, oh, y'all trying to kill me today. And I was like, sir, it's just asparagus. Like, he had never had asparagus. The idea of like...
And that's the problem. You over here feeding them Pop-Tarts. We need to feed them some asparagus and some more vegetables. That is the first green word she said so far. Asparagus. The question is, why are we talking about it as if it's something that's not common? That's what we need to make common. This whole interview should have been about making fruits and vegetables and minerals and amino acids the main source of your digestion. That is what we should have talked about this entire interview.
Somebody food that's
not degenerating.
Higher upper echelons and get down
the higher echelons. So Tyler Perry and TNT are the higher echelons. Oh, great. We're going so far in life. If Tyler Perry and TNT are the higher echelons, I must be talking on another dimension because I could take y'all celestial with it. And she's saying that it just means so much when Tyler Perry and TNT from the higher echelons comes down to the lower and does something for the lower.
Degenerates.
Are we serious? Degenerates.
It's
precisely.
Insecure their whole lives. And I mean, when we were doing the NFL, I mean, we had lamb chops, fillets. I mean, just so much stuff.
We had lamb chops and fillets. We had lamb chops and fillets. I just told y'all again. You know what? Let me pull it up one more time for y'all, because you may have missed it in the beginning. Coronavirus in poultry and other birds. Guess what? She talking about the lamb chops. She talking about the beef. She talking about the filet mignon. Guess what? All of y'all still eating that filet mignon, and you don't know why do you love that filet mignon. It's because of the Maillard reaction. Just causing cancer to yourself, why don't you? This is what happens when you eat like a degenerate, when you think like a degenerate, when you listen to degenerate music, when you listen to Earn Your Leisure. They will do what? They will make you earn your leisure. Let me run it on back for y'all because, again, you need to see the cycle of how you've been living this entire time. You've been eating like a degenerate. You've been thinking like one. You've been listening to them. And guess what? Because of that, you have to become one. Because I got this lady here saying that she got some lamb chops, some filet mignon, and I know that some of y'all was just watering out the mouth. I could just see it through the screen. But guess what? Coronavirus in the poultry and the birds. You think it's only in this? Oh, think again. But again, y'all gonna say she's doing something positive because she's feeding hungry kids. And guess what? I say otherwise.
We had a chef at the Veterans Administration here in VEO, Veterans Empowerment Organization, And we had from Radio Row, NFL, all these like fillets that were never even used. Like just
they should have been thrown away.
Still sealed, vacuum sealed. We got him over to the chef. He starts crying because he's like, man, I wanted to do a steak dinner for them for Valentine's Day.
Wow.
We come with 200, 12-ounce filet mignons.
Just the matrix upon the matrix.
Just like that's why it matters.
Just
that's
keep hexing yourself
from the film sets, because the stuff that they're feeding the actors is really good. Why should they just throw this perfectly good food away when in the same city somebody that doesn't have $1 million, that's not making $1 million an episode, is hungry?
Yeah, I was just going to ask you that. Actually, it's perfect leading, especially when it comes to kids. And it's noble to feed people that's hungry. They got to eat. As DMX once said,
look at these two. DMX. I just told y'all about the rapper. DMX that made more music to put y'all in the hex than anybody. And that's the reason why we're in the position that we're in. That no one can think for themselves. They've been listening to DMX like him.
You'll eat anything, right?
You'll eat anything. You'll listen to anything. You'll just do anything. And then you wonder why the kids actually are out there committing crimes and there's a school to prison pipeline. It's because, again, when you eat fruit snacks and you can't get your fruit snacks no more, guess what? You'll do anything. That high fructose corn syrup will have you acting a fool. If you don't get that corn syrup, I'm telling you, you ain't gonna be doing the chicken dance no more. You gonna be acting crazy. You gonna be looking around like, wait a minute, what can I do? And then you put some Young Keef on there, or some Young Thug, or whatever you want to call it. Chief Keef, Young Thug. You can tell I don't listen to it. Listen, you could put any of those people on there, and guess what ends up happening? You got the chemicals here, you got the music here. You can't do the chicken dance no more until you get that fruit snack. Then you can start doing the chicken dance again. He look like he eats some fruit snacks. Listen to him.
Want to be health conscious.
Health conscious.
You don't want to just feed people anything. Right?
Let's hear this.
So
he said health conscious. Let's hear this.
Your business model, as far as like I said, especially kids, like childhood obesity is a big thing.
Child obesity.
And like GMOs and processed foods and stuff like that. So
GMO and processed foods. Let's hear what she's about to say.
How does that play a part as far as like deciding which food, what food goes to who, and like, all right, we're trying to do like more of a healthy option, or if that's
it's really just like a ticker system. So what we will do is
ticker system.
So Papa John's, for example, is one of our customers.
This guy just said, "We want to know, sister, what you doing about the GMO foods and the fake foods in the community?" And this lady came back and said, Papa John's. Papa, because he is y'all Papa. Papa John's. Papa John's. That's the answer to this. Papa John. You know what? Let me let her finish, because y'all going to say, oh, you never let her finish. Let her finish.
System. So what we will do is so Papa John's, for example, is one of our customers.
What?
We will never give the same organization Papa John's every day of the week. So
what
we
you gonna give them?
Hey, they got Papa John's today. They could get Sweet Green tomorrow. So we try and give them more of like a well-rounded, unbalanced.
That's not well-rounded. Oh, so we'll fuck you over today, and then we'll skip 2 days, and then we're gonna fuck you over the next day. What? Why would you be feeding them Papa John's to begin with? And again, that does not answer his question. He asked you this. He said, lady, what we gonna do about the processed foods? He done heard a thing or two. He said, lady, what we gonna do about the genetically modified food? And she hit him back with, we gonna hit him with the Papa John's. And you know what? Just because we don't want to give him too much Papa John's, we gonna give him Papa John's on Moon Day, and then we're gonna skip 2 days and then give it to him maybe on Friday. Why are you feeding them that to begin with is the question.
But then a lot of it is just us trying to get prepared meals. Like the airport still is one of our largest customers, but
this didn't have anything to do with his question.
We would get the food. A lot of people don't know this, but stuff in the airport only lives for 12 hours, only lives for a day. So all the prepackaged sandwich, salads, fruit cups, all that stuff is just good for a day. Even though it can be made that morning, it's only good for a day. So when we would get that to shelters and to children and families, I mean, it's really good food. So it's different salads and
good food.
We turn people on to like pho and kale. I mean, so many things that people had just never had before we were able to introduce them to. So I think a lot of it is we don't really try and go.
So you see what she said? We were able to introduce them to kale. Who does that sound like? Ian Dunlap and the 13-year-old. We were able to introduce you to options trading. Look, really listen to this part. She just said here, we were able to introduce them to kale. They probably didn't know about kale before. We were able to introduce them to kale. That is no different from Ian Dunlap and a 13-year-old introducing you guys to options trading and never showing you a live trade. She's going to introduce you to kale, and that's it. They going to introduce you to options trading, and that's it. It goes no further. But it could have went further if what? If both of them showed proof. If he showed proof of his account, and if she taught them how to grow some kale and why the kale was important to eat and what are the minerals inside the kale and how the body then reacts to getting those minerals inside the kale and how we can all be happier if we ate some kale and put down a Papa John's, then we could make sense of this. But again, it's the same thing. They're over here not pressing a button. She over here not giving them real food. So you got people over here introducing you to trading, and you're happy because of that. And you got people over here that's introducing you to kale, and you're happy because of that. But that's all they did was introduce you. They didn't go deep into it. But you know what they go deep into? The rap music, the entertainment industry, the sports industry. Oh, they go deep into that. But why are we not going deep into kale? Why is that just an introduction? Oh, but I know what you guys are going to say. Let her finish. Let her finish. Listen to this.
Like McDonald's, like for example,
McDonald's.
That's not a customer that's like on my high priority.
Why is Papa John's a customer?
I want to get McDonald's.
It's the same
get
thing.
All that excess food. I'd love to get Whole Foods. They throw away their hot bar every single 4 hours. Everything that's on the hot bar.
Even in the hot bar. Now you're talking about the Maillard reaction. You think because it's Whole Foods, it's all good for you? Actually, Whole Foods, there's plenty of articles that shows that Whole Foods has now allowed GMO foods there in the market. So there is no GMO transparency there. Look, Whole Foods pauses GMO labeling deadline. So they don't necessarily, back in the day, they actually had GMO transparency. You see, that was in 2013, but that's changed since then. They're not showing you everything that's in the food on the label, and that's pretty huge. So we can't talk about Whole Foods as if they're the way to go. I told you, the way to go is for you to know for yourself what your body needs. What are the minerals? What are the amino acids? And then what vegetables and fruits and foods can I find that has those main ingredients and not the replicates that are killing you?
Hours they throw it away. Well, they say they compost it, but I've talked to employees that say they throw it away. So they,
they need to throw it away.
That goes to waste. And I just keep on thinking, like, if we could come in 3 hours and 30 minutes, if we could come in 3 hours and 42 minutes, I could get it to a nonprofit that's super close, or even they have the ability to, if Whole Foods wanted to, they could take it off the bar, they could blast freeze it, they could freeze it, and then I could come and get it the next day, but they just throw it away.
That was what I was thinking in my head, like the logistics.
Of course you was thinking that, because he looked like he tear down some food, boy.
Is it
it's free for the
tear down some food.
So it's, it's not, because remember, we inventory everything it is that they sell, so we can give them the data on it. It's in the App Store, but you have to have like a login from us to kind of get it. So we haven't made it to.
Y'all, I'm done with this. I've torn them apart, torn this interview apart. If you can't see it already, you will never see it. I'ma just move on and keep flowing because I'm still not done with Earn Your Leisure. Earn Your Leisure has done nothing but slaved you into this matrix, basically. And I've shown it many different fashions, many different ways. So we're actually going to flow back over to options trading so we could talk about this dude right here, because they've brought master investor Ian Dunlap on there as the main master investor, but they also introduced this guy by the name of Mark Monroe, who is going to explain to you stock options trading. But you already know what I'm going to say, guys. You could probably already say it in the comment section at this timestamp. What is she going to say? I'm going to say, did you press the button? Did you press the button? But also, I want to listen in on what he's actually going to say, if he gives any stock proofs or anything like that, because we're going to ask him for proof, but I want to see what he's going to say he's been actually trading. So let's take a listen to this.
Some rumors did.
Listen to these two.
I'm just
or
saying
these
whatever.
Three.
Okay, RJ, you have been unmuted. Unmute yourself.
Can you guys hear?
Yeah.
Gentlemen, I want to say I appreciate you guys, man. I've actually been watching you guys on YouTube for about 2 months now, and and finally became an EYL University member today. So
salute to you. Put the caps up in the chat for him, please.
Congratulations.
What's up? What's up?
Best decision that you could possibly make.
You know, I have an options question, but I really like to ask you guys a question about the Apple Tesla thing too that's coming up.
Oh yeah, let's talk about that again.
Now, RJ, I'm gonna be kind to you because they're gonna start saying guidelines if you ask more than one question. But go ahead, it's day one. They're gonna be nice to you. I got a good feeling. Go ahead.
Well, but my Apple Tesla question is this. You know, if you've got, you know, a certain amount of money that you want to put into a long-term investment into one of these companies, I would imagine, you know, just looking at their performance over the last few years, they both got the potential to get back to where they are, you know, in the next 5-6 years or so.
You see, they be dropping money in that chat, boy. Listen, they be dropping money in that chat. $100, $50.
As much as the Apple share.
If you're looking at it as
which one you go into, because I mean, obviously Tesla, even after the split, is going to be probably 3 times as much as the Apple share.
If you're looking at it as it pertains to stock price, then maybe. But if you're looking at it as it pertains to valuation, Apple is $1 trillion, a $2 trillion company, and Tesla is probably just a little bit over $300 billion in market cap value.
Gotcha.
What does that mean as far as me investing into either of them long term?
Okay.
We're gonna continue on that thought.
Now,
just keep listening.
My options question, just really quick. You know, I'm listening to your formula on how to generate the strike price, but looking at a company like Microsoft, for example, with all of the news that's surrounding them, do you change the formula, I guess, for a company that's surging at their high right now?
Well, I mean, typically I don't trade off of news, so it's like in order for you to make a solid trade, here's another gem that I'm going to sprinkle for everybody. Here's how you look at it. And this is the reason why we say you got to look at the fundamentals. And the easy cheat sheet that you can use for the fundamentals, outside of using bar chart, is go to their investor relations website, look at their earnings. They actually have to produce those 4 times a year. It's like their report card. And then what they also do is they also give you what is called guidance. You got to look at that. The next thing that you got to do is look at the analyst research. See what Wall Street is saying and see how it compares and stacks against what the actual company has said.
Wait a minute.
The next thing that you got to do is look at the news, which is only there to help you, and once you've read enough.
Didn't he just say he don't trade based on the news? So then why is he telling you here now to trade based on the news? So he's telling you to do something that he doesn't do. Let me run it on back. This dude said here, I don't trade based on the news. But then 30 seconds later, he's saying, you should be paying attention to what Wall Street's saying. How are you going to do that? Who knows? And then on top of that, you should stay alert to what's happening in the news. And then he also said something about earnings. But really, everyone throws around that earnings word. You need to get into what form I should be looking at, what statement. You see that earlier at the very beginning of all of this. I showed you guys this site right here where you can learn about what people inside the company are either selling their stocks or buying their shares beforehand. So you could actually find out, okay, look at this. Again, Timothy Cook, he did what? He sold 265,000 shares worth of Apple on the 25th of Aug. But if you go back to that date with Earn Your Leisure, they were telling you to buy. They were telling you to buy Apple. They were also telling you, oh, we got to talk about him too. They were telling you to buy all types of companies, Apple, Tesla, all the ones that split, right? And then also he's going to talk about a big one. But the question is, why are they not going into the details of this? And do not tell me it's because it's in their course. Because first of all, their courses are way too overpriced, and then second of all, they're not going based on that, because even from their free interviews here, they don't speak that lingo. So he just told you again, I don't trade based on the news, but you should pay attention to the news. And you wondering why you lose. It's because you listen to people who tell you to do this, and then they're saying, but I'm going to do this. That's exactly what just happened.
The next thing that you got to do is look at the analyst research.
The analyst research, the news,
and see how it compares and stacks against what the actual company has said. The next thing that you got to do is look at the news, which is only there to help you, and once you've read enough news to get enough.
But he just said he doesn't trade based on the news, but it's here to help me. That doesn't make any sense.
What's coming down the pipeline, That's really what the news is there for you to really forecast, just to get an understanding of what the company is going to do.
Not
and then you
at
take
all.
the actual financial information of what you know about the company, and then that's how you're able to say, okay, hey, now I have somewhat of a sound understanding about this company. If you want to go even further in depth, look at the sector, look at the industry, look at the competitors. And then that's how you really get a full, all-encompassing view.
Just look at all
of
this
company
shit.
To say, okay, hey,
But don't press the button, because if he was pressing the button, he would have a way different explanation to you on how he pressed the button. Y'all really need to see that. If he pressed the button on any of these trades, he wouldn't be explaining it this way, because he just told him, you need to do this, but I don't do this. So then why are we even taking that advice? It sounds like a vice.
Says it's going to do. Since you're new, I'll drop a gift for you.
Another one.
Microsoft is one of
puffs.
the top 3 cloud service providers. Microsoft has also been they've been kind of immune when it comes to COVID-19 if we excuse, say, for example, LinkedIn service, which is their recruitment platform, which most companies use. Then they also have, say, for example, Office 365, which most companies use. They also have the gamers market share when it comes to, say, for example, Xbox, as well as PC, and marrying the two and bringing it over into Android, as well as
Mumbo
iOS,
jumbo on Microsoft.
When you put all that together, and that's only just...
I told you guys, from the beginning, the main reason why I came here is to show you that Earn Your Leisure regurgitates information, and they just put a spin on it, and you grab it, and you go with it. Where did he get all of this from? Where did he get all of this from? Did he talk to Microsoft themselves?
Which most companies use. They also have the gamers market share when it comes to, say, for example, Xbox, as well as
And y'all
PC.
gonna say, oh, he did his research, and he put 2 and 2 together. But that's not the reason why the stock did anything.
And
that's the point.
And bringing it over into Android, as well as in the iOS sector. When you put all that together, and that's only just a few products in which that I gave you, what does that tell you about Microsoft?
Nothing. It doesn't tell me anything about their future, because guess what? Just how it's here today, it can be gone tomorrow. So what you gonna say about that portion? What are you gonna say about that? Do you know Microsoft
the
personally?
Call that I put in this morning might do all right in the future.
Yeah.
Oh, the call you did might do all right. I'm gonna show y'all it's not
Microsoft,
doing all right.
And, after doing all of my fundamentals and understanding it and coming up with my price,
Mm-hmm.
I realized, like, oh my gosh, this is gonna be a home run. I love Microsoft. So kudos to you for taking a step and investing in that.
Well done.
The answers.
And again, guys, in the long term, in the next 5-10 years, can Microsoft go up? Yes, it can. But how do they know it's going to go up? It's the question. Where are they getting this information? Y'all need to question. How does he know? Does he know someone on Wall Street personally that's telling him this from Microsoft? No. These people are regurgitating information. They're getting information from news, earnings, and they're trying to piece it together. But when you piece it together, it happens sometimes. It doesn't happen other times.
Just to those questions right there was worth
To just kill all of that, how about we just ask them to press the button?
I appreciate it. It's almost, as my brother Beyond Wayne says, it's almost free. It's actually unbelievable.
That's a fact. All right, what we got? Let's see. Linda, what's going on? Unmute yourself. You've been unmuted. We got breaking news alert. We got 455 earners in the building. That is a record. Yeah. Shout out to y'all. Caps in the chat.
455.
Hit the like button, please.
Somebody said tell us.
And they've been feeding them all a lie. I am happy I'm making this video because at least maybe 455 of y'all will see this and actually wake up to your whole reality. I really deconstructed your entire reality here. I hope you guys see that. I've deconstructed your entire reality. Going from the music and then all the way down now back over to stocks. We've done all of this.
Tell us the price. The price on Microsoft. Mark, should we share it?
Put it in the chat.
Should we share the price?
Put it in the chat.
EY University, you gotta give something exclusive for EY University.
I'm gonna put my call number in there.
Wow, it's such a secret. The call number that I use.
These are the perks that you get for being an EY University.
That's the perks that you get for being an EYN University.
Wait, so are you?
No one presses the button.
He putting it.
I put it in.
He's putting it in.
Yeah.
He's putting his call. What he did. He did it. So
yeah, this is what was it? 22.
I want to be like you when I grow up.
Yeah, cause he's saying that because he like, dang, you telling them people where you got in that? Shoot, I want to be like you when I grow up. Cause shoot, I ain't gonna show these people where I got in that.
What was it? 22.
I want to be like you when I grow up.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they put all the caps. They gonna.
Yeah, you have it. Go crazy.
Go crazy.
All right. Question. Answer.
Yeah.
Linda, what's going on?
Well, I joined it because I just wanted to see if this is something that I could possibly get into. I don't know. I really don't think this is for me. But I'll continue to, listen in on the calls that you guys have regarding this. But I do want to ask Rashad something. I did send you an email, and I wanted to know if that was the correct one.
Email put because the one I put is it might be pricey at this point, so I'm gonna give you a range, which is all good up until that call day. So I'm gonna do that for y'all too. All right.
Linda, send me an email literally right now, and I'm gonna send you my calendar right now.
Okay, thank you so very much.
All right, no problem. Well. Yeah, that's the bro right there.
Rob, Rob, come on, you put the face up there now.
Let's skip a little bit.
All right. Yeah, let's just put it out there. I took an L on DraftKings too.
Because I want to show y'all this one he about to give me.
What's going on, bro? Nah, it's cool, man. So obviously learning a lot from you guys. Shout out to
learning a lot.
So I had a question in regards.
Dang, you gonna learn a lot from me.
How do you determine if the premium is too expensive? So I have an example, but I don't want to get it. You can answer it just the way I asked it. So I'm just curious about like how you could determine if the premium is too expensive, and do you pay attention to implied volatility as well? So I'm just curious. That question was for Mark.
Yeah, so naturally I don't really pay attention to implied volatility unless I'm playing a shorter position. But I mean, for the most part, I don't, since I'm playing so far ahead that implied volatility doesn't really matter.
How far ahead?
What's your second question? I'm sorry.
Oh no, it's just like how do you determine if the premium is too expensive? So for instance,
simple rules of investing: you buy low, sell high. I mean,
okay, so that's the rule so far.
For options. The other part is if you are going to buy higher. So, for example, for those that know of what I'm doing, I guess I gotta drop a key for folks. And what the other part is if you are going to buy higher. So, for example, for those that know of what I'm doing, I guess I gotta drop a key for folks. And what I'm doing, I may be in an NVIDIA trade.
Can we talk about that? Because we were on the phone together for that.
Man, they just think it's so funny to be so secretive. Like, I don't get it. Y'all say y'all here for the people, but then it's like you gotta pay for all this. And I mean, what did they give out for free? Like, they just told you what options trading is, but I mean, why are they? I don't get that.
Can we talk about that? Because we were on the phone together.
They laughing at this.
I may be in an NVIDIA trade for
I may be in an
2022 at 520.
Whoa! Say that one more time.
I may be in an NVIDIA trade for September 2022 at 520. And I paid a lot for that contract. But at the same token, I have to look at not only what I'm paying today, I also have to look at what I'm going to be potentially selling at later. So at that point...
Bingo! I am so happy he said this. Because between Ian and Mark here, they both love to tell y'all to do 2-year, 5-year, 10-year calls. Now, we're not talking about stocks here. We're talking about leap calls. And they're telling you to buy these calls outright. And y'all wondering why they telling you to buy those long-term calls outright. And I'm trying to tell you, they think they slick. They know that if you get into these positions right now, you can't blame them for the next 2 to 3 years. Because you got to actually wait and see what happens. So if you're down in the next 6 months, you know what they're going to tell you? Oh, you got to look at the long term. You got to look at the long term. Question is, was this the best trade? Let's go over here to ThinkorSwim and let's talk about NVIDIA. Because he tried to make it such a secret that he got into this position with NVIDIA, and I don't really see what the secret is. Now, if you go back to that video, you'll see that this was on August 26th, right? Remember that date. Because I'm going to show y'all when they started losing their minds and their money. NVIDIA. He said he has a 2022 call on this one. If you come over here to the trade tab, you will see that 2022 Look at this. That's 734 days. If you are dealing with just one contract over here, you're probably dealing with about $15,000 that you're going to have to pay for it. Okay, $12,000. At 520, you are paying up to $12,000 for that one contract. So he told you he spent some money on it. Whether he pressed the button or not, we will never know because they don't show pressing the button. But what he did tell us is a little secret here. He got in on the long call 520 and he's doing it for 2 years. Y'all, look at this chart. Do you see this chart? This is a 3-year chart on NVIDIA. Do you see where this thing is? I showed you the magnetic lines earlier. I'm showing it to you again. If you want to learn how this could be your friend, you got to hit me up. Look at this. The mean. This is the mean. The white line right here. You know what price does? It tries to get its ass back down there. So we got right now, prices were at a +3. Meaning 99 to, let's say 90 to 99% chance that what's going to happen when it gets here is going to go right back down. So he got you guys in at 520. 520 is right here. This is showing you the space time for the next 3 years. All of y'all who got into this trade. So again, they told you to buy NVIDIA when it was all the way up there, up at yonder. And you wondering right now, why is your account down? And I am showing you guys why you are about to go crying on the ground, because look at this. NVIDIA is at the +3. It was between the +3 and the +2. And these cheese puffs over here with Mark Monroe told y'all to do what? To buy. He actually just said it right here. I think he got it himself.
That company was up to 505.
505.
Oh my gosh, we got the 520 call 2 years from now. So just imagine where you're going to be. So like if you can stomach.
Just imagine. Just imagine. Because if you could stomach it. Because we're not actually pressing a button over here, guys. We just imagining. Imagine what could happen if you got into NVIDIA and in the next 2 years, what could happen? Well, we don't have to imagine over here. If we just look at the ThinkorSwim chart, y'all can clearly see. Oh, we don't have to imagine. It's showing you that the space-time of the past 3 years is showing that it is highly likely that NVIDIA will drop before it ever goes back up. So will it go back up? Yes, it may go back up. But was this the best price? It wasn't the best price. This shit was at a +3. And he told you to get in. And I'm telling you, the SEC, FINRA, y'all gonna say, oh, Samantha, they're gonna say don't tell people when to get in. Or don't tell people when to get out. And I'm telling you, you better get your ass out. Because if you don't get out, oh, FINRA would agree with me. Y'all should get out of this trade. It's at a +2, +3 on a weekly 3-year perspective. And he talking about holding this thing until 2022. Again, that's going down before it goes back up. So if you want the best option, a better option than the option that you previously obviously had, this is what you should be doing. You should be looking at not only whether or not they're pressing the button, but you need to stop pressing the button and get out that NVIDIA trade. This is what they told you with NVIDIA. And Ian actually also told you this with what? With Apple. But if you look at Apple on the same space-time, it shows about the same thing. And guess what happens? The same thing that happens every time it gets up to a +3. It tries to make its way back down towards the mean. So all of y'all that's in this trade right now, listen, y'all gonna owe me a bag. Y'all paying Ian $40,000. I'm about to save you $40,000. They're talking about here getting into NVIDIA and Apple when it's at an all-time high. Y'all are going to lose your money before you gain your money. And guess what? The game is so slick that they told you to do it for 2 years to 5 years. So guess what? You can't blame them for being wrong until 2 years or 5 years. It's pretty genius, because then now y'all looking like, wait a minute, my account's down. And you know what they telling you? Man, you gotta hold it. You better hold it. Like, it's gonna go back up. I mean, what do you think? What do you think's gonna happen with Apple? You own Apple right now. What do you think's gonna happen to Apple? You know who's another one who does that all the time? Let me bring him up right here. Wall Street Trapper. This is the man of the hour. Look at this one. Yeah, you know you're right. I do have a video that's gonna come up on Wall Street Trapper coming up next. This is just gonna be a preview, y'all. I'm not going to get into it because I could really get into it. I've actually talked to him personally about options trading because y'all gonna hear him talking about options, but he doesn't know a lick of options. And he doesn't even show you proof of him trading options. Instead, he shows you fake statements, and these statements don't show any proof of him pressing a button. But even more so than that, the reason why I'm showing you here is because he's also with Earn Your Leisure. He's been on their channel many times. And you actually see here, because he was telling y'all to buy Apple. When it split, this was one of the main ones. He was telling you on Instagram, on YouTube, to buy. So now he made this video talking about understanding great entry points for buy and hold investment. Oh, you gotta hear this. Let's play this one. Let's see where we're gonna start this one. Let's start this one right here.
Approach to investing in the stock market. No one should be on here just buying stock.
Listen to this.
No one should be on here just buying stock.
Just buying stock.
Building wealth has to be a strategic approach. I like I like when my brother 19 Keys came up with the wealth standard.
19 keys now.
There has to be a standard.
That's another
when it comes
conversation.
to us building wealth. We can't just be, I'm about to buy this stock because the TV talking about it. I'm about to buy this stock.
But that's what you do.
Talking about it. I'm about to buy this stock because Ian and
But
Red
that's what he
talking
do.
about it. That's not what we doing, yo.
That's
The
exactly
reason
what
why
y'all
Wall
do.
Street Trapper Ian,
Y'all can act like he's saying this, so he's saying the opposite, Samantha. That's what they do. I've shown you so many videos where they talked about the news, where they talked about the fundamentals, and they told you, no, he's saying this now because people getting on his ass, and they like, yo, I bought Apple because you said to buy Apple. That's the reason why he's saying this now. Is because they gave information, and now it's like, wait a minute, what's happening?
the reason why we can talk about these stocks is because it's a good channel. We literally look at the stuff all day, every day. So we gonna have an in-depth approach and an in-depth.
Just because you look at a chart all day, every day, does not mean you're gonna be successful at all. And they definitely don't even do that. So it's a lie both ways.
Certain stocks, that's cool, but I can't tell you when exactly to buy a stock because I don't know your risk tolerance to a stock.
Basically, I don't know if you're gonna be willing to be down like 50,000, 100,000 before you ever get back to maybe 2,000. So I don't know what your risk looking like, cause I don't want to tell you when to get in, cause I don't know when to get in. But I'm just telling you here that listen, it could be based on your risk tolerance. That no. Just tell the people you don't know actually when to get in, and you telling other people to get in now.
I don't know it.
You don't know it. I know.
You gotta put in that work. You got to study. You got to read.
You gotta study and read.
All the time.
Regurgitated information.
We ask ourselves this question: how do I know I'm right? One of the ways you can check how do you know that you're right, it comes with being in an environment. Go ask some other people who are stock market investors. What do they think about this stock? Man, how do you feel about this stock? Me and Ian.
Wait, he just said don't listen to me and don't listen to Ian. But now he just turned around 40 seconds later and said, you need to go ask investors like I go ask Ian. Wait, but first of all, Ian don't press a button and you don't press a button. So what y'all really talk about? See, I could really go into detail with Wall Street Trapper, and we will in a next video, because again, I've had conversations with him about him trying to learn options trading. So the question is, why is he on here acting like a guru when he didn't show you pressing the button?
Just the other day, me and Ian was on the phone. We talked about a price. Ian said, well, I got it at this price. I said, well, I had it at that price. And Ian was like, man, that's a good price. I said, that's kind of cool too. Let's talk about it.
I got it this price. I got this price. Oh, well, that's a good price too. Good price. Are you in the profit? Are you in the profit? Did you press the button? Or did you just tell the other people this price? Man, y'all are crazy.
Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it. Let's not trade about it. Let's talk about it.
Because $10 can mean a lot. Even though it was a discount price for both of us, we had to act like, why is it that point for you? And Ian hit me with some points. I was like, oh, that's cool.
That's cool.
So we need to ask ourselves that, and then we need to double check our work.
Double check our work.
It's okay. What we want to do is double check the work twice, execute once. Say that again. Double check the work twice, execute it once. I just want y'all to understand what we doing. You know what I'm saying? We gonna navigate our way through this the right way, yo. We not gonna.
Let me ask y'all a question. Has anyone ever seen him press a button? Have you guys ever seen him press a button? Because he's one of the main ones who will hit you with a disclaimer quick like. He'll say that shit 5 to 10 times per video. So he gonna say that, and the reason why is, because I'm hedging my risk. But y'all don't hedge y'all risk with trades. See, I was trying to teach him vertical spreads. And even with the other guy, future spreads into delivery into commodity, it's the same thing. But they can't get that information if they still scamming people with this little poquito information, and they're not showing what? Pressing the button. That's the problem that we have here again. It's the same issue.
So you bought Apple at 125. You see the stock going down. What we need to do is, once you bought it at 125, if you bought it at 125, your homework already say that, it is kind of overbought at this point. It is overbought.
Let me show y'all something.
You looked at two indicators. You looked at the relative strength index, and you looked at the greed and fear index.
Yeah.
Right? You looked at these two indexes.
Look at this.
You said, okay, well, it's
what
at
in the
125.
world?
Okay, I just wanted to get my feet wet. Okay, cool.
I'm
I don't mind getting my
trying
feet
to show
wet.
y'all this.
Let me get a position to get my feet wet. And so now what you're saying is, I got my discounted price because you saw the.
Y'all see this right here?
Whether it's Apple or Tesla, right? I don't care.
This is the reason why he over here crying right now. You see this right here? This says August 31st. What did he do? He bought 100 shares of Apple. Now, did I not just show y'all that Tim Cook did the absolute opposite? But he told y'all, you need to invest in good companies. You need to see what the company doing. Why didn't he see that Tim Cook was selling shares just 5 days before? He bought 100 shares of Apple. Tim Cook sold 265,000. He bought 30 shares of Tesla. Y'all want to see where Tesla is right now? Y'all don't want to see where Tesla is right now. Look at this. Look at this. Tesla. Look at this. Look at this. Tesla right now is at 372. So I don't even really think that that's a real spreadsheet. That looks fake to me. But even if it is, y'all who watched it and traded after him, I know y'all crying. Y'all crying, boy. And the reason why you crying is because look at this. Tesla right now is at 372. Again, will it go back up? Depends on how long you staying in the trade. With these people, shit, they telling you to do 5 to 10 year holds on a long call. You do that if you want to with this 3-year cycle looking like this. Again, could it do one of these and pop back up? Absolutely. But when is it going to happen? Because right now, on a 3-year space time, we popped through the +3, going almost up to a +5. So before this thing keeps going up, I'm trying to tell you, it's going to take a dive. And that's exactly what you're seeing in real time right now. That's exactly why Wall Street Trapper over here, really look at this, man. Look at this. He screenshotted, not even a perfect screenshot. He just took like a piece of the screen here. This shit looks fake. Like, who knows where he got this from? Because he's not showing you pressing a button. This is what they want to show you. And remember, he is one of the key people who tells you what? That you need to invest in the company and look at what the company's doing. Look at what the owners are doing. So the question is, again, for him, August 29th here, you were showing people Tesla at 443. And you were telling them that you need to get in now before the split or after the split. It'll be another 5 years before you see Apple this cheap again. Actually, it was only another 2 weeks. It was only another 2 weeks. And guess what? We saw Apple way cheaper. So the question is, and it's still going down. Even though the stock split, the value didn't. So look at this. Tesla, 443, already going down. Apple, already going down. This is what? August 29th here, people. August 29th here. And we have Tesla and Apple going down. But this is what he told you to invest in. This is what he told you to invest in.
You should always look at the relative strength index, RSI, and the fear and greed index. You should always look at these indexes before you buy any stock. Before you buy any stock. RSI, fear and greed index. You should always look at it. You need to see if this overbought or oversold. You need to understand.
You need to see if it's overbought or oversold. But wait a minute. Trapper, why you ain't do that? Because Tesla and Apple were overbought and they were both overbought. So why didn't you take your own advice? You want to know why? Because he never took his own advice. This little screenshot that you see here of ThinkorSwim, man, this could have came from anywhere, and it looks like it came from anywhere. But again, you guys fell for it because you bought the person. He actually has some other statements in here that were further down, but it looks like he took that shit off. And I mean, I don't blame him. It was an option sheet that was showing some of the trades that he got into, and he probably took it down again because he's getting some heat for it, like he is right now with Tesla and Apple. But what are they gonna do? They're gonna tell you, oh, hold it for 5 years. Again, that is game. The only reason why they're telling you to do that is so that they don't have to hear your mouth for what? The next 5 to 10 years. Listen, I done cooked all of them. Literally all of them. Ian, Mark Monroe, Wall Street Trapper, and the two of Earn Your Leisure, and everybody that they brought on there trying to teach you something. I literally showed you that this has been a full podcast of what? Misinformation. I know y'all watching this like, dang, she done went in for how long? About 4 hours? I had to, because this is actually for the people. When the people see this, you need to shift your entire perspective. Not only the way that you look at wealth, the way that you are thinking, your critical thinking skills, how you are able to see whether or not someone is scamming you right before your face. That goes into health, that goes into wealth, and it definitely goes into what you're seeing right now with who? With Wall Street Trapper. See, Wall Street actually started this whole thing that he has called Trappin' Tuesday. Let me show it to you. You're already looking at his page. He does this thing called Trappin' Tuesdays. And I'm telling you, the only reason why he started doing that is because I told him that this was coming. It was coming, that we are going to expose all of y'all for doing what? Not pressing the button. And this was on the phone. I spoke to him on the phone, and he was with the movement at first. He tried to play a little game, but he wasn't actually trying to figure out how to trade. In fact, he was just bringing up other people in the industry. Like, you've probably heard of Terry, or I'm going to bring them up later. I don't have to do that right now. This is what he was talking about on the phone, is what I'm telling you. And then right after that, he started bringing up Trapping Tuesdays, where he started fake pressing a button. But he didn't show you what? Him actually pressing the button. None of these people did that. So this is a full 4 hours breaking down who Earn Your Leisure actually is. I told you guys from the beginning, the main thing I came here to show you is they have been regurgitating information from futures, options, and stocks, not showing you pressing a button. And on top of that, they have been turning y'all into slaves in real life. Slaves to the system, slaves to the matrix. And that's what happens when you listen to this type of music, you consume this type of food, you watch rigged sports, and you watch idols like Dame Dash with a big ass AR. He got that in a white woman's hand killing black people, but he want to talk about culture vultures. This is what you get. You get all of this matrix, and I just tore all of that shit down. So really, they should be thanking me. Actually, every single one of them should watch this 4 hour long video and grab this thing right here that I got called notes, and they grab a little pen and take some notes, because I just showed you their entire hand, whether they knew it or not. Because it really doesn't matter if they knew it or not. Just like I told you. I mean, if somebody comes in and they give you rat poison, whether they knew it or not, does it really matter? Or did it matter that you took in the rat poison? That's the problem here. So they all have shown you misinformation back to back in different industries. And I'm showing you that all of these different industries were put here to hex you in different ways. Hey, this is going to be the end of this 4 hour long video. I really need y'all to like and subscribe. Comment below on any and everything. Shoot, start putting some time frames in for me, some timestamps. And I'm also going to put some in as well, because we talked about a lot of information from COVID and the chicken, from the health industry, from the wealth industry. And you know I'm going to hit you with another one tomorrow. I'm going to keep this information flowing. This is just one of the first videos that I did outside of the Forex industry, talking about futures and options. So you know we're going to keep it rolling, because this entire industry, it's looking like a lot of people don't do what? They don't press the button. And we're going to show you only pressing the button. So until next time, make sure you're talking options.